hurt. Congress about to take a closer look at what has proven to be a controversial attack on a suspected drug-running boat in the Caribbean.
U.S. forces carried out a follow-up strike. The sources say the rationale was to sink the vessel. On Tuesday, Pete Hegseth said,
a couple of hours later, I learned that commander had which he had the complete authority to do, and by the way, Admiral Bradley made the correct decision to ultimately sink the boat and eliminate the threat.
That Commander Admiral Frank Mitch Bradley is expected to discuss the strike at a classified congressional briefing today. Ben Thomas, Washington.
Applications for unemployment benefits dropped last week to 191,000, and that is the lowest level in more than 3 years. A genuine American hero of yesteryear has passed away.
Decorated Native American veteran Charles Shea has died at the age of 101 in France. Shea was a 19-year-old Army medic when he landed on Omaha Beach in Normandy on D-Day in 1944.
Well, I guess I was prepared to give my life if I had to. Fortunately, I did not have to.
Shea was from the Penobscot tribe from Indian Island in Maine and was awarded the Silver Star for repeatedly plunging into the sea and carrying critically wounded soldiers to relative safety. Charles Shea had been living in France since 2018, not far from the shores of Normandy. I'm Ed Donahue.
On Wall Street this morning, the Dow futures up 16 points. NASDAQ futures down 22 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everyone is watching major movements ripple through the markets these days, sparked by new policy shifts out of Washington and activity from the Federal Reserve. Americans have faced uncertainty before, and every time, we've found our footing again. The real secret to long-term financial peace is simple. Keep your eyes on the horizon and understand the fundamentals that drive real stability. That's exactly why Advantage Gold is inviting you to call 800-741-GOLD right now. We'll send you a free Gold IRA rollover kit, along with a complimentary copy of economist Ken Rogoff's insightful book, Our Dollar, Your Problem. Inside, you'll learn how to defend your retirement savings against inflation, market swings, and reckless fiscal policies, with tangible assets like precious metals that have preserved wealth for centuries. It's no wonder Advantage Gold has been America's #1 gold company for the past decade. Take a smart step toward protecting what you've earned. Call 800-741-GOLD. That's 800-741-4653. Consult your financial advisor before investing. Call 800-741-GOLD.
Representatives of all 15 UN Security Council members are in Syria today. The visit comes as the country prepares to mark 1 year since the fall of the Assad dictatorship.
Russia had been President Assad's biggest backer. The U.S., as well as Britain and France, supported the armed opposition. All world powers are now engaging with Syria's new leader, Ahmed al-Shara, who until recently had been designated as a terrorist for his past links to al-Qaeda and Islamic State. The envoys now want to see for themselves the immense challenges confronting the new Syria, from deep poverty to sectarian violence, Israeli attacks on its territory, and the Herculean task of rebuilding a shattered land.
The BBC's Lise Doucette. A blackout has hit western half of Cuba, including Havana, leaving millions of people without power on the island, struggling with chronic outages. News and analysis, townhall.com. Lawsuits have been filed in connection with the Kentucky aviation accident.
A deadly UPS cargo plane crash in Kentucky stemmed from the corporate choices that favored profits over safety. That's according to an attorney who filed 2 wrongful death lawsuits Wednesday, which alleged the company kept flying older aircraft without increasing maintenance beyond what's regularly scheduled. Last month's fiery crash happened during takeoff after the plane's left engine detached, and cracks were later found where the engine connected to the wing. The lawsuit also names General Electric, which made the plane's engine. Bill Alexander, Washington.
Later today at the White House, President Trump will be rolling out the red carpet for the Congolese and Rwandan presidents. It's a peace agreement signing ceremony scheduled. It's a deal aimed at ending the long-running bloodshed in eastern Congo. And the White House says this is an historic agreement. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The Travelician, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Thursday.
Ah, yes.
A non-snow on the ground Thursday.
Not there yet. Nope.
On time.
It was,
Oh, no.
and I don't mean like warm, but it was oddly not freezing cold this morning. It was very off-putting.
We're above freezing right now. We're at 36.
Ooh.
So I think we may have got to freezing at some point, and that was about it. I heard moisture hit about 9:30 last night. I was hearing the pitty-patter of rain.
Yeah, I honestly don't even remember hearing it.
Yeah, I heard about 9:30. I passed out. No. It was about 9. Yeah, it was about 9:30. And then I passed out about 10. And I woke up around 3 and I didn't hear nothing. And then I came out to go to work today and the ground was wet, but there was a lot of spots that were dry already. So I had a feeling we didn't get much of nothing.
No, it's probably just kind of a little,
enough to make some puddles
a
here
little
and there.
smattering.
Yeah. That being said, it is, been chilly.
Yeah.
Don't be ripping through those puddles. If you see the puddles, there might be a little black ice there. Just be a little. It shouldn't be too bad at 36, but I wouldn't risk it.
Right.
I was out this morning and I saw a few patches out there.
Yeah,
so.
there's some spots that might preeminently freeze before it's freezing, and
so just be a little smarter driving this morning. Don't be pulling out in the middle of the streets in front of people like y'all do all the time.
Right. Put it this way: it's if water freezes, it takes longer for it to unfreeze, or a higher temperature for it to unfreeze than it does, to stay. It'll stay frozen for a lot longer than 32 degrees. It's not like as soon as it's 33, it's like all the ice is gone. No, it'll stick around for a while.
Yeah, but if the road gets enough traffic, it heats up the pavement and bye-bye.
Yeah.
But anyway, just a little caution out there. It will be chilly today, so bring a coat. You'll probably need it. Our high today is 47. So, but good news. It's kind of short-lived. After today, a couple cold nights, but we're like 60 tomorrow. I think like mid-60s for the weekend. So, but the nights are going to be chilly. Like tonight's even colder tonight. Tonight's like 25 or something like that.
It's
and
getting down there. Leave the water on a trickle.
Which, since we're talking about that, please, if you can help organizations like Food Not Bombs with many hands, they're actively collecting warm weather items, things like coats, blankets, sleeping bags, socks, gloves, hats, stocking caps, and
scarves, things like that.
Muffs. All of the above.
All the muffs.
Yes. Well, if they make music, sure they probably like them, but probably not as useful as like the old school earmuffs.
Yeah.
Now I just went to old school earmuffs. Vince Vaughn every time he told his kid.
Yeah, I utilized that like one time, and then after that, I'm like, you know what? They're going to hear it anyway, so I'm just let it fly.
Well, they never work. Every time your parents asked you not to listen, what was the first thing you did?
You're going to listen louder.
Exactly.
Yeah, of course.
It's like, oh, you're going to talk about me and you want me to not pretend I don't hear about it? Sure, I'll get right on that.
Right.
Oh, you're about to say something that's too precious for my young ears? I have noted, because that's all we ever did was, don't do that. All right. I want to do that.
Yeah. I wasn't listening to you until you told me not to, and now I'm really paying attention.
You want to get people to wonder what's behind the door? Tell them don't go behind that door. And then all they're going to do is wonder what's behind that door. It's just how it is. But
honestly, I don't know what it is about when you see a button that says "Do not press."
Mm-hmm.
You just everything within you says, "I need to press this button."
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
What needs to happen is every time that you do that, a large gentleman needs to come out from behind a door and punch you in the face.
Yeah.
This is how you learn.
Yep. Well, I mean, as trained button pushers, that's what we are. Trained button pushers.
100%.
We have and there's a lot of buttons that are like, do never touch this button. But I'm like, there's days I want to touch that button.
Have you ever seen? I've seen several versions of this, but it's called The Most Useless Machine. What it is it's a wooden box.
Okay.
And it's got a metal switch on it. And if you flip that switch, a robotic arm will pop out of a door and flip the switch off. Its whole job is to just flip the switch off when you flip it on. I've seen ones with like 10 of them where you just like flip, and it's like ting, 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 ting.
That sounds kind of fun.
It is fun for a minute, but it's completely the most useless machine ever. And it makes sense because its whole job is to turn itself off.
Yeah. Yeah, although if it's to provide entertainment, guess what? It just killed a minute or two, which is about as useful as a paddle ball with the ball and the string.
Right. What is my purpose? You flip yourself off. Oh, my God.
That should be on a T-shirt. My purpose is to flip myself off.
Flip myself off. Picture of that machine.
But last night I had a delightful dinner at Pepper's. Humane Society had their annual Christmas party.
Yes.
My wife's on the board, and I get to tag along. So we had a lovely dinner and it was a fun night. Met some people, had some great conversations, and had a good news. Pepper's was pretty packed.
Oh, yeah.
There was a lot of folks there.
It was pretty steady. We actually ended up going a little earlier. I learned a valuable lesson yesterday. They don't start serving their dinner menu until 5 o'clock. Because I went to order a steak au poivre, and it's not on the menu that I was given.
Oh, bummer.
I know. Well, yes. What a bummer. I'm going to have to go back.
Yeah. Well, I was just wondering if they'd let you order it like a little early.
My waitress, who's actually a friend of mine's daughter I've known for years, she goes, "Well, you're welcome to wait." I'm like, "No, I've got wrestling to get to. I'm going to wrap this up.
I got to see grown men roll around on a mat."
That's right. Sometimes with a purpose.
Yeah. But so I had a lovely dinner there, and I guess you had a lovely brunch.
We'll call it like a dinner.
A dinner. There we go. I say, what is that meal between dinner and lunch? Has that got a definition?
No, it really never did have a designation.
Because I think it's considered. I know, very fat driven. If you have that meal, you can't wait till dinner.
Right.
You're a disgusting fat. That's pretty much.
You're a pretty big fat person.
You're a gluttonous pig.
Well, it wasn't like my dinner before dinner. It was the dinner. Although a couple of times it did cross my mind. I'm like, you're eating earlier than old people. You are old people.
Old people are going, why so early, Sean?
Priorities, that's why.
We just had lunch. Now, pull back the curtain. Sean probably didn't have lunch or had earlier or whatever.
Yeah, I didn't really have much.
We eat on a different time than other people. Like,
true.
Like my lunch is like at 10 o'clock. I'm like, I'm hungry for lunch at 10 o'clock.
My lunch is like a meat stick on the way to pay a bill or something.
Yeah, it's generally something of that nature or something out of a bag. But
it's that time of year where all of the different like apps that you use are starting to kind of give you your year in review.
Yeah.
Have you gotten any of those?
One I got was on my iPhone.
Okay.
As in a year in review of all of my pictures I took this year. So I watched that little medley. And funny part is, this 4th of July, right when our precious Doug, about when he came on board, he was taking pictures at the Church on the Move's July 4th drone show and fireworks show. And he sent me all of his pics. And it was literally a dump of like 300 photos.
He was eager to please it.
So all year, my year review, between whatever normal pics I had, there's pictures of drone shows and fireworks and things like that.
Hunter dancing.
Yeah, hunter dancing. A thing of Doug took like some kind of reflective shot of me and Kim. I guess I was sitting in a lawn chair or something, and, like looking out. Look all thoughtful. I don't know what happened. I wasn't nothing going on. I was probably thinking about food or something.
Blue. Blue.
I looked deep in thought, but I'm sure it was something. It's like.
That's always my favorite. Like when I used to do photography, it was always my favorite shot is to get him to look up and to the left or right. Just like something really interesting happened right before I snapped this photo, right up here.
Right. I take a stab. I can tell you what I was thinking about. Something like this. It'd be something to the effect of, I go to a lot of these sandwich shops, and I always notice salt and pepper as a condiment to put on the sandwich, but I never take advantage of it. I bet I should salt and pepper some of these sandwiches.
I bet they intentionally under-season these sandwiches.
That's what I'm thinking of. I'm telling you. I never thought to put salt and pepper on a sandwich before.
It does usually involve food. Because honestly, the other day I had an active thought in my head. I really should start carrying my own small bottles of hot sauce. Just because you never know.
Yeah. I didn't say all the thoughts were good thoughts.
No.
I just said there.
Some of them are functional, all right? But most of them are just about,
When you start thinking about your hot sauce holster on your belt, that's when you said, all right, let's put this away.
Well, see, I didn't get to hot sauce holster. I was just talking about putting one in a pocket.
Right. Well, that's 2 steps away.
You're not
At some
wrong.
point, you're like, I'm tired of digging around in my pocket for my hot sauce. I would really like it handy on my belt.
I need a belt.
And then you're going to go from holster to holster with retractable string. With your hot sauce. It'll look literally like one of those kid or dog walkers.
Right.
I think they're mostly for dogs, but they work on kids.
They absolutely work on kids. No, the ones for kids are specifically usually designed for kids.
Yeah, they do. The only difference is they don't have a paw print on it.
Mm-hmm.
They got some baby's face or something. It's exactly
Now,
the
if you
same
see a kid running around with one with a paw print on it, that's a bad parent.
Or frugal.
Or an amazing pet parent.
That's right. All right, we better get the hour going and all of that here. We're going to do a replay this hour. Greg Hall, gubernatorial candidate, joined us yesterday. Unfortunately, he will not be at Stiller Coffee today. That was yesterday. But we had a great conversation with him. And folks, if you missed him in our 8 o'clock hour yesterday, you get a chance to at least hear him. So we'll play that interview here and, kind of hear what he's about and let you decide whether you like him or not. And then that's all I do. I'm not telling you who to like or who not to like. And then in the 8 o'clock hour, we're going to replay an interview we had last month with Katie Wright from the Extension Office, giving us an update on time for signups for New Year stuff, like the diabetes stuff. So right now, sweet spot for all that. So we'll play that interview. And then Larry Martin with the Lions Club will join us. Sean talked to him. I bet based on this time of year, it's time for carriage rides.
I believe
with the
you're
Lions.
right. Let's
So
hear
I
those
think
sleigh
that's
bells
what
ringling.
Larry's going to be joining us to talk about here. And 'tis their season and the weather starting to line up with their carriage rides. Just saying, 25, 27. Generally speaking, those are always, like, I don't know, rarely it's mild. It always seems to be chilly when it's carriage ride season.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just, even if like during the week, it's like mild. Fridays and Saturdays, chilly.
It's right down there with, I'm going to enjoy a barrel fire and some hot cocoa or apple cider before
And quite frankly, that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
If you're like in shorts and a T-shirt and a carriage ride for Christmas, that just don't feel right.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't feel right.
No, that's not appropriate.
Nope. Now, if you're doing a Christmas in July, then
Long pants.
pantaloons and a parka.
Closed-toed shoes.
I'm going to need those Saturday. Closed-toed. I might, Kim and I, it could be, I might have things to report on Monday. That's all I got to say. I don't know yet. We're going to see what happens, but how I know usually how it happens is probably going to happen, so I'll probably report on Monday. But first, we got to get through Saturday. We're thinking about an addition to the family. That's all I'm saying. All right, it is 7:19. Let's get you up to date on the weather. As soon as I find my mouse so I can highlight the next thing. There we go.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll have some cloud cover early today, and then we get sunshine in the afternoon. It will be cooler following that cold front. Afternoon high in the mid to upper 40s. Well, the overnight hours pretty cold. We're dipping into the 20s under clear skies, and then we'll bounce back to about 60 to 65 on the high on Friday and sunny. The upcoming weekend looks good. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 36 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 97%. Winds are calm at the moment. That's a good thing. It's going to be chilly today. Mostly cloudy this morning, but that will burn off and the sun will make its way. High of only 47 today with northeast winds at around 5 miles per hour. Tonight, clear skies, chilly, overnight low of 24. South winds at around 5 miles per hour. Some Jeff Gordon for you NASCAR fans. Older NASCAR fans, I guess. Friday, sunny and 60 for a high tomorrow. So it does warm up nicely for your Friday. Winds will be out of the west, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, another chilly one. Mostly clear, overnight low of 27. Saturday, warming up, 67. That's going to downright feel like you want to wear a T-shirt. With west winds 5 to 15, so it might be a little breezy. Saturday night, clear, overnight low of 35, so we do warm up above freezing Saturday night. And then Sunday, sunny, 62. Sunday night, back down into the upper 20s, 27 for an overnight low. But temps for next week looking pretty nice. Monday, 65. Tuesday, 69. Wednesday, 76. So things do look like they'll warm up a little bit for next week here. All right, it is 7:21. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and on the other side of the break, we're going to play our interview that we had yesterday with gubernatorial candidate Greg Hull. Don't forget, we do talk about him at Stellar Coffee. That was yesterday, so I just want to clarify that. He won't be at Stellar Coffee today, so don't go looking for him. But we'll be back on the other side.
Christmas is almost here, and my wife has already picked out new clothes for me to give to her. Believe me, it's much safer that way. She tells me that the right clothes can make her feel confident and put together. In Colossians, Paul speaks of being clothed by Christ. He tells us to take off the old rags of anger, rage, malice, slander, filthy language, and lies, and put on the new and perfect clothing of God's chosen people: compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. Finally, he tells us to put on the best garment of all, and that's love, which binds everything together. No matter what we wear on our physical body, nothing matches the perfection of being clothed in and by Christ. Through his forgiveness and saving grace, we're clothed in his perfection and made holy by his sacrifice. Instead of worrying so much about the gifts we give and get this Christmas, let's remember the greatest gift of all: Christ coming to this earth to give us the opportunity to be saved.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
At Ocotillo Family Practice, Pediatrics, and OMED Spa, our team is here for you. Nancy Walker, Fallon Moody, and Tialana Watts are family nurse practitioners offering expert care in family practice, pediatrics, women's health, and aesthetics. Nancy also provides advanced hormone therapy for men and women, including hormone pellet implants that help patients feel their best. Plus, meet Brittany Harrell, our skilled nurse injector, offering a full range of aesthetic procedures to help you look and feel confident. Same-day and walk-in patients are always welcome. Visit Ocotillo Family Practice, Pediatrics, and OMED Spa at 607 West Country Club Road in Roswell. Your family, your health, your beauty, all in one place.
Wakefield Oil Company is a name you can rely on, with full service at the pump the way it used to be. You can expect service in just 15 seconds. They offer bulk fuel and oil services and even diesel exhaust fluid. Wakefield Oil Company will deliver to farms, ranches, dairies, the oil fields, and more with dependable service you can count on. So the next time you need service or delivery, go with the name that locals have trusted since 1983. Wakefield Oil Company, 311 South Virginia in Roswell. Let them earn your business.
When you or a loved one need medical transport, Trans-Aero answers the call. Trans-Aero Medevac operates 3 rotorcraft bases and 1 fixed-wing base in southeastern New Mexico, allowing them to respond quickly to emergencies across diverse terrains. Their fleet extends coverage deep into New Mexico and West Texas, including Artesia, Carlsbad, Roswell, Ruidoso, Midland, Lubbock, and the surrounding areas. Ready to answer the call when every second counts. Trans-Aero Medevac, proudly serving southeastern New Mexico and West Texas. Flown for free, thanks to the partnership from the City of Artesia and Trans-Aero Medevac. Life support by air.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. A group of 12 or more cows is called a flink. If you have only 11 cows, that's called a lot of cow pies. Here's Mike Winters.
This morning is New Mexico gubernatorial candidate and mayor of Rio Rancho, Greg Hull, in studio this morning. Good morning, sir.
Well, good morning, and thanks for having me. We certainly appreciate it, Mike, and it's great to be down here in Roswell.
Well, we'd certainly appreciate the visit. It's always great to meet folks that are running for office here, and obviously before we kind of get off and get into tangents and everything else here, Greg will be at Stellar Coffee here at 11:30 this morning. So if any questions we didn't talk about you want to ask him, you can come and have a cup of coffee and maybe a Danish or something and chit chat with Greg here. Unfortunately, I messed up last night. You were at the country club.
Correct.
So if you go tonight, I'm sure they'll have a great meal, but no Greg Hull.
No, I've got to get back. I've got meetings back in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho
That's
later
right.
today.
And I think weren't you in Artesia earlier in the week too?
So
speaking to folks down there.
Yeah, we were in Artesia and Carlsbad yesterday and day before. So bouncing all over the southeast portion of the state, and we're going to be down here a lot more because what's happening down here in southeastern New Mexico is very important and critical to the entire state of New Mexico.
Absolutely, and obviously, and to my knowledge, you're the only Republican candidate that has officially said I'm running for governor.
There's one other, but
okay.
Two and possibly two others that are floating around out there.
I've heard people rumbling, but no one's. So I mean, so obviously, we come on. We all live. Southeast New Mexico is a conservative part of the state.
Correct.
We're all. We're not blind to that, and so like you said, coming from Rio Rancho, you got to get down here, and folks got to meet you and learn about you.
Well, it is, and yes, it's a conservative portion of the state, granted, but you don't want to take that for granted,
sure,
right? And so, getting down here, meeting people, and really putting a face with the name,
sure.
and not on the radio here, but we do have
a video.
Well, that's true. We got a video.
They get a nice shot of this dome here, and then
Well, I'm getting to the dome, portion of the life right here. With the thinning hair, but getting down here and putting a name with the face,
sure,
face with the name,
sure,
and meeting folks down here, because I will say this: the voting block down here is very important, especially in statewide elections, and we really saw that in the last statewide races that we didn't have a great turnout down in the southeast portion of the state.
Big problem in this corner of the state is voter turnout is always low.
But it's so important, Mike, because when you think about it, it really can. When you think about, well, my vote doesn't matter, or I'm just not going to vote because of this, that, or the other, for whatever your reason, or you got busy, the elections do have consequences, and down here, considering the vital importance of the industries that are down here in southeastern New Mexico, whether that's agriculture, oil and gas, some of the manufacturing, all of the various different facets of what happens down here.
Sure.
It's so important to the state's economy.
A lot of what happens in the state gets funded by oil and gas.
Correct.
And
correct.
What we produce here, yeah.
Up to 50% of the state's annual budget. I mean, just in 2024, I think it generated $13 billion for the state. But the decisions that are being made for the southeastern New Mexico are coming out of Santa Fe, and so and sometimes we don't have, when you're up in northern New Mexico, they don't have a full understanding of the vital importance of the industries that happen down here in southeastern New Mexico, and how that plays a role in education and funding so many different things.
Well, I would imagine, and you probably learned a lot of this as you were spending time in Eddy County and things, but one of the big cruxes there is some of those roads and some of those major, there's some major inner thoroughfares that are dangerous because of poor road conditions or lack of upgrades. And that's something I'm sure you've heard that, hey, we're sending a lot of money up. You got to send it back down here to keep these roads going.
I've not only heard it, I've gone out and driven the roads, because you want to have a firsthand understanding. What you're going to find out about me, Mike, is the last 11 and a half years, let's give people a little bit of my history. The last 11 and a half years, I've been the mayor of Rio Rancho. And one of the main things that I have focused on as mayor of Rio Rancho has been infrastructure. And that infrastructure is involved roads, water, and then, of course, public safety has been huge for us.
Anybody that's lived in this state for the last 20 years, I've been here since, military brought me here in the 90s, so I've been here since then. But anybody can know that you can look at any place in the state that's like grown to an immense size over that time period. It's Rio Rancho.
Well, yes. And we have focused on the things, whether that's, like I said, infrastructure, public safety, quality of life, education, all of those things that we focused on in Rio Rancho has really attracted that growth. And I will say time and time again that I think the state of New Mexico has the ability to see that type of growth statewide, but it's going to take some very directed investments, and one of those investments is going to be infrastructure, especially down here in the southeast portion of the state, and that's going to be transportation infrastructure, roads, putting money back into the roads that are delivering the revenue for the state, right? And then also working on water. Now, Roswell's got they're really known for the fact that you guys have a good water supply, and it's very well managed. It does really set forth a model for the state of New Mexico on what we can do in the area of water. But that being said, in Rio Rancho, we focused on aquifer recharge systems that also set up a model that we can work with on cities throughout the state to make sure we optimize the use of one of our greatest natural resources.
And that's, you're talking about, investing in our state infrastructure and everything else. And I think this is the big thing that, and I don't care if you're a Republican or Democrat, or wherever you're in New Mexico, you see this. And you see that when it comes to resources and opportunities, New Mexico is probably one of the top in the nation. But then you look at our neighboring states, Texas and Arizona and Colorado, and all of them are flourishing business-wise and doing well. And then right smack dab into us, and we're like in this archaic zone where they fly right over us. They go over, and that's where I think most of us are saying, how do we get them to put roots here and do that? And I think that's, part of what you're saying and what you're seeing needs to come to the state in your vision to bring to the state.
And once again, I'm just going to make a lot of comparisons back and forth because it is my current occupation as being the mayor of the second or third largest city in the state. We quibble with Las Cruces over that moniker. Are you second or are we second? It's back and forth. Because our populations are extremely close, about 118,000.
Now, they had a head start.
They did. We caught up pretty rapidly.
You guys caught up quick.
Yeah, we're only about 43 years old as a city, so I think we were incorporated in 1981. So, they did have a little bit of a head start. They've got a little stronger of a foothold, but we have been very focused on meeting the needs of the community as it grows. Really strong, robust housing market in Rio Rancho. Great education system, but one thing that we knew we were going to need to do to attract investment from outside investors to come to our community and to be a part of that is the city itself had to start investing in itself. And you have to invest in yourself to show people that you have that same confidence in what you have to offer as compared to what you're offering people to come here. So when they see that you're not making investments in your infrastructure and you're not making the appropriate investments in some of the things that they're going to need as resources to be successful in this state, they want to see those investments because they don't want to come in and say, oh, okay, well, we're going to come in and spend millions and millions and millions of dollars, and you're going to expect us to do all the upgrades to your infrastructure. You're going to expect us to do all the upgrades to your power grid. All of these different things that they're saying, look, we need you to be a partner. We don't want to be the sole funder of all of this.
Absolutely.
But if you want us to create economic opportunity within your state, we need to see that you're making commensurate investments in that infrastructure, whether that's roads, water, or energy.
Absolutely. Well, I imagine people it's exactly what you're seeing on a smaller scale here in the Roswell here. Anytime there's a new business or major entity come in, they got to work hand in hand with the city, especially if they're going to be, like a warehouse thing where there's a lot of trucks. They got to make sure the roads are adequate for there. If there's going to be a lot more people there, we need to run more water and more electricity to that area, then we got to set the table to do all that. And it's just a grander scale statewide. We need to be more proactive in doing.
Absolutely. And when you look at what we're investing in economic development and what we call our local economic development fund that comes out of the state, our fund pales in comparison to some of the surrounding states around us that are really being very aggressive about setting that table, as you just so appropriately described it, for inviting them to come into the state and to come here and bring the jobs and bring the investment. But Mike, when you get into setting that table, and I'm going to steal that one from you. I like that. We've got to set the table for success, right? When we get into that, there's just several things that we need to get back to a core functional, just that core focus of what we need to do to really establish the building blocks or put the building blocks back in place. And infrastructure investment is huge. Public safety is going to be huge. And you're going to hear me talking about this over the next year as we run for this office. Public safety is going to be huge. And then, of course, education.
Sure.
Education, when companies are coming here, not only are they looking for strong infrastructure and the resources to operate their company, they're also looking for that workforce because they don't want to have to move an entire workforce into the state.
Absolutely.
And so workforce training and investing in workforce training and investing in our children from early childhood education right on up to graduating high school, getting them into college, getting them into those postgraduate degrees, along with potentially offering up, as we've done in Rio Rancho, career technical education.
Absolutely.
And really focusing kids on trades that might not want to go to a four-year college and might not want to go for a PhD.
This is why I always tell people when election time rolls around and you see those bonds for education, I support every one of them.
Yeah.
Because they're investing in the future and especially just to gee whiz when we had these last bonds that thank goodness barely passed. Now that money's going to be invested into programs at ENMU, for instance.
Right.
They're going to have a CDL program that there's a big lack of CDL mechanics in this area. Now they're going to have a program where they can train them and have them here. Same with medical. They're going to, that's one thing that New Mexico sadly is lacking is medical professionals. And now, legislatively, we've shot ourselves in the foot on a lot of that.
Sure. Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
And we need to fix it that way.
We do need to fix that.
But conversely, we need to offer opportunities where it shouldn't, where nursing programs and things like, well, they're exclusively full. Well, you know what? We should if there's more opportunities, we can get more nurses in there, more people that trained to be qualified to do these jobs.
Absolutely. And I got to say, Dr. Sue Cleveland has been the superintendent of Rio Rancho Public Schools since its inception. She just retired this year, 31 years as the superintendent of Rio Rancho Public Schools. And, her focus was always on really talking to the students about what they were interested in. Nursing, healthcare was a huge profession that the kids really showed a lot of interest in. So in Rio Rancho, we have UNM Hospital there, and we have CNM, and we have their nursing program there that really caters to what those kids are looking for. And then, of course, right now, we're also partnering with CNM to bring in the state's first ever DC EV mechanic training facility right there in partnership with Rio Tech, which is the career technical education facility that we put in Rio Rancho.
Gotcha.
I would like to see that, Mike, statewide. And I just think we have to have somebody that's laser focused saying, look, we're going to find the resources. We're going to work with the legislature. We're going to fund this, and we're going to get these facilities into communities across the state, especially the ones that might not have the tax base to support that. When you talk about bonds, when you issue those bonds, you have to have the tax base where the taxpayers, the ratepayers, to support those bonds. You have smaller communities that don't have that tax base. So that's going to require a real partnership with state leadership. That's going to take a real partnership from the state and come, top down, making sure that we have the funding available to help those communities be successful in those programs. I think about some of the smaller communities throughout the state, whether it's, Silver City, Deming, Espanola, any of those smaller communities that might not have the resources to actually build a facility, find the partnerships with some of the colleges in the area, find the partnerships with some of the other facilities, other organizations like CNM. I'm going to say like CNM.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
To go in there, partner with them, and work with the individuals throughout those communities to build those facilities. And I think, I don't think it, I know it, is that when you start really listening to the kids and what they're very interested in, you're going to see them more engaged. You're going to see them more activated when it comes to their personal career and their personal success.
Sure.
And I know just back when I was in high school, I wish I had something like a career technical education, because I was a dreamer, man. I just wanted to get out. I wasn't a bookworm. I was give me that hammer. I want to go build something.
Absolutely.
Right?
I think I remember taking some test in school, and at the end of it, they gave you like careers you're good at, and I got like farmer and something. I'm like, yeah, I don't see that in my future.
I tell you what, as a kid, I loved building stuff and taking stuff apart. So electronics fascinated me, and
you should have a job in radio. We got a whole bird's nest of wires. You can
oh
play
yeah,
with.
absolutely. Well, I was really good at taking it apart, but putting it back together, that was a whole other thing. So you might not want me in your bird's nest back there.
That wouldn't be far different than what we're dealing with now. So join one more to the party.
Yeah, absolutely.
I do want to change gears a little bit and talk on the politics side of it, because this is probably the biggest hurdle you're going to have to deal with, and quite frankly, anybody that's whoever is the nominee from the Republican side is going to have to deal with is you're always going to be playing from behind the 8 ball in New Mexico. You're already going to be outgunned as far as money wise. I mean, and yes, ideals and things do move needles, but if you don't have the war chest, it's really, really hard to get elected.
Absolutely.
So how are you going to fight that side of things?
Well, that's going to be very grassroots, and that's what we've been doing for the last 6-8 months as we've moved around the state. We started really kind of exploring the idea back in January, and then in February, March, we started doing some fundraising to see, what level of support. And we've received pretty decent support throughout the year. We're nowhere near what the other party has raised.
They got millions of dollars sitting in a couple of these candidates. Yeah.
But Mike, this puts the emphasis on, if we want to change the state, we've got to step up, not only with our personal time and but our treasure as well. And I'm going to take the opportunity to say, if you to go out and look at our campaign, greghull.com, and there is the ability to contribute there.
Yeah.
And when you look at some of the finance reports from some of the other candidates, you're going to see that there is a lot of out-of-state influence that's coming into this race on the other side. And if we really want to control the destiny of our states, we have to get engaged on the local level in the state and support the candidates that are really, truly running for New Mexico. And in my particular case, I moved to New Mexico in 1986. I've raised 5 kids here. I've got 7 of my 9 grandchildren still live in the state.
Nice.
Unfortunately, I think two of them are about to move out. I'm sad about that because, well, my daughter's in the healthcare profession and she's leaving the state.
And
that's a huge issue.
We are losing quality people, or never got the chance to get quality people because
I mean, we can chase this rabbit all day long on the healthcare side, because we're running our doctors out of the state with the medical malpractice issues, and then just some of the inflexibility and the reciprocity of bringing licenses into the state and bringing that talent in. And then also, when we invest in this talent, not making sure that we're locking that talent in and saying, hey, we want to help support you, get you through your medical degree, but if we're going to help pay for all of that, we need you to stay in the state and provide those services back to the citizens that actually paid for you to get that degree.
Kind of getting back into investing in the education side. I know just because personally I've got a chance to interview some of the folks, but UNM, with their doctor program, they kind of have a program where they kind of help finance through that. And the med students, they go and during the summer they kind of serve as interns, or they get to learn about healthcare and different and they usually send a contingent to Roswell. They'll send them to other parts of the state, and they kind of learn a little bit about rural medicine. And it all in the hopes is trying to encourage them to once they become doctors or full whatever their their end game is they do it here in New Mexico.
Absolutely. And look, as I'm sitting here in Roswell, I know that one of your largest industries and one of your largest employers in Roswell is the healthcare industry.
Absolutely.
It is a major industry, along with oil and gas.
And as a guy
energy.
in his 50s, I'm seeing you a lot more now lately, so I need more of you.
right. Exactly. And I'm a guy about to roll into my 60s. I'm knocking on the door of 60 here coming up soon. And, and I'm making more and more trips to the doctor to, try to make sure that I'm staying healthy.
Absolutely.
And I need to make sure, I need to be sure that I can get a visit with the doctor. And I'm going to tell you, for some of the procedures that are just, regular checkups here in New Mexico, I myself personally, it took me up to 2 years to get into the doctor for a certain procedure.
Yeah.
And,
it shouldn't be that way.
It shouldn't be that way.
Yeah.
It really shouldn't. But we've got to protect our doctors. They are a vital resource, and they are a vital component to, once again, when we get back to infrastructure on what companies are looking for when they want to come to New Mexico.
Gotcha.
This is part of that table setting that you talked about earlier, is getting that table set. Education, infrastructure, healthcare, public safety. We can just continue to hit those points because those are the fundamental components, the building blocks of what people that are looking to invest and bring companies into New Mexico, those are the things that they're looking for.
Absolutely.
Economic development incentives are fine, but ultimately is they want a great place for their employees to live, and they want a strong, educated workforce that's talented and ready to go.
Absolutely.
To provide, and then the services that provide the support services to their employees.
Absolutely. If you're just tuning in, we're joined in studio by Greg Hull, who's a gubernatorial candidate. By the way, if you'd like to meet him, he's going to be at Stellar Coffee at 11:30 this morning, right here downtown, 315 North Main. Come on down, have a cup of coffee and maybe a scone or something, and chit chat with Greg, and anything we don't cover here, you want to get more in depth, and I'm sure he'll be happy to sit down, chit chat with you.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to move it around, talking to people. And raised 5 kids in the, first originally moved here from Santa Fe, then moved into the Albuquerque area and settled in Rio Rancho, and small business owner, and created some jobs in New Mexico. And I'm proud to say that those jobs are still here, because in 2012, when we sold the company, that company's still in existence. It's a packing and shipping company.
Okay.
And so they're still employing people right here in New Mexico, and I'm proud of that it's been successful after all of these years.
Sure.
And we opened that company in 2000.
Okay.
So in 2000. So it's been around
25
now for
years
25
now.
years
Yeah.
now. So
quarter century anniversary.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I need to reach out to the new owner and congratulate him on 25 years.
There you go.
Because now he's been at the helm now for about 13 years.
Okay, so he's about half there. So
yeah,
he's about half each now. Almost.
Yeah, exactly,
So,
exactly.
Very cool.
And when I stepped away from that, I really didn't know what I was going to do, because really, Mike, I came out of the blue collar world. Steel toe boots,
Sure.
denim, blue jeans, and denim shirts.
Got dirty for a living for a little bit. Yeah.
Exactly. Picked up the hammer, and we built boxes, crates, and we shipped stuff all over the world, and worked my way through all of that. And after we sold the company, I really just took a step back just to figure out what I wanted to do next. And being the mayor of my city was not on the radar. It was just not. So I was kind of the unlikely candidate and unlikely individual that was going to run for office. But when I put my name out there, and everybody looked at my resume and said, hey, this guy's a small business owner, and he's created jobs, and he's been successful at what he's done in that realm. Let's give him a shot at the helm of the city of Rio Rancho. And so we've led that city to amazing heights. And
the numbers speak for themselves. I mean, people can look, and easily, I would say Rio Rancho is the fastest growing city in the state of New Mexico over the last 20 years. Easy.
It is.
Yeah.
We've focused on fiscal responsibility.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of the fact that the gross receipts tax rate is the same today as when I took office in 2012, because we were focused on growing the economy as opposed to just raising taxes. resources to cover the needs. And as we've done that, as we've grown the economy, we've grown the budget organically there. And I just absolutely know we can do the same thing in the state of New Mexico.
I imagine a lot of lessons learned, especially probably in the first few years as mayor. Because like you said, you come from a blue collar, job gets done, the job. And then when you enter the world of government, it's a whole different ball of wax.
It was a whole different ball of wax, but a lot of the principles apply.
Yeah.
Accounting for the money that you have under your control, making sure that it's spent in an appropriate way, and that you're going to get the best benefit from the dollars that are being invested.
Sure.
So that way it becomes an investment and not just a spend.
Right.
Right. Because you want to get an ROI, especially when you're managing taxpayer dollars.
Right.
That is a stewardship that is not to be taken lightly. And when you're working with the taxpayer dollars, the things that they're looking for, you have to listen to the things that they want and the results that they're looking for out of those dollars. And invariably, when we talk to people, I get the same answers.
Mm-hmm.
They want to see the cost of living come down in New Mexico, because right now cost of living is a huge factor in the state of New Mexico. And they want to see public safety. They want to see strong investments in public safety. But local communities, whether it's Roswell or Carlsbad or Artesia, Hobbs, you can name any southeastern community, and then we can go up into northern New Mexico and name off communities up there. We need increased and sustainable funding from the state to help these communities and counties add more law enforcement officers to their organizations.
Absolutely.
They need to see modernized equipment like real-time crime centers, something that we've invested
probably some
in.
Updated training in there too.
Updated training, absolutely, and additional resources. The one thing that we've really focused on in Rio Rancho, and we understand that, and we've been very, very grateful to the citizens of Rio Rancho for supporting a public safety bond, is that if we want them to keep us safe, we have to give them the equipment and resources to keep us safe.
Absolutely.
You can't just say, "Hey, keep me safe," and figure it out on
Good
your
luck
own.
to
Right?
you.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Right? Go make me safe. And good luck to that. No, you have to provide them that, and you have to be committed to that public safety plan.
Well, and I also think too that when we look at some of those state issues we have, when it comes to crime, and part of it's our location. I mean, let's face it, there's a lot of highways of sex trafficking and drug trafficking. New Mexico is home to much of that.
Absolutely.
But that being said, I think some of the other stuff will also correct the other things. And what I mean by that, by investing in our business and all that stuff, that brings in more funding, which also investing in more healthcare, mental health specifically.
Mental health is huge, yes.
And throwing a lot, like I know a lot of people are dealing with the opioid settlement money and the right ways to use that to best. And I know right here in Chavez County, we're definitely thick in that conversation.
Yes.
But investing in that stuff, I will take a very good stab that you're going to see crime numbers drop. You're going to see other mental health related things drop. And now sex trafficking, I mean, that's a bigger issue. We got the federal border to deal with and all that stuff. But that being said, by investing in the treatments and the things, you're going to see those numbers drop, and you're going to see, instead of us being 49th and 50th and all these horrible numbers, we'll start getting back in the middle of the pack, and who knows, maybe even better than that.
Absolutely. Well, and as you know, in New Mexico, we're number one in crime, and we're number 51st in education.
Right.
And so you're not going to hear from me. This is one thing that I've never done as in my political career, is I'm not going to make a bunch of wild, outlandish promises that we're going to go from 51st in education to first overnight.
Sure.
It's a long, hard road. It's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of investment, but it's going to take a lot of on-the-ground really just rolling up your sleeves and putting your hand to the shovel and digging in and creating systems that actually work and benefit the children of New Mexico, from pre-K to all the way up to, college education.
Absolutely.
And develop that workforce from early on. We also need to work on getting parents engaged in the process of making sure that their kids get a great education.
Absolutely.
So one of my initiatives is going to be to really push more control back down to the local level, so that the school districts can teach kids more in line with the character and culture of the community.
Yeah, know what's best for, and that's something I've always, and this is the big, this is, we can get into all this, but this is the big crux of stronger states versus federal, and at the end of the day, they wanted to have the states have more because they know what's best for their areas, and we do. That's a good mindset, I think.
Well, when you have a top-down policy that pushes a one-size-fits-all blanket over the entire state, and especially a state that's as diverse as New Mexico, when you think about the 19 pueblos and the numerous Indian nations, and then you've got just the diversity in communities. When you think about the difference between Farmington to Espanola to Mora to Las Vegas, all the way down to Las Cruces. All of these communities are very, very uniquely different, and allowing them to have a little more control. I think when you do this top-down approach, you really limit or even completely eliminate innovation and creativity when it comes to making sure our kids get the best possible education that they can get.
Well, if you want a good example of what happens when people from the top start making decisions that have no idea what they're talking about, look at BLM stuff, look at anything that deals with our forest fires and all that.
Yes.
A lot of that's because people are making decisions in D.C. that have no idea of the lay of the land around here.
Absolutely.
And there's people that are sitting in those backyards that have 10,000% better ideas on how to deal with it than anybody in D.C. does, and they don't follow it. Now you have things like, the spotted owl's missing. Well, it's because now their hunting grounds overcrowded, and that's why they're sitting in Walmart parking lots now.
Right.
But again, I'm getting down the tangent. I got to stop.
I'm sure if we had all day, we could chase some rabbits.
Just evidence that maybe they don't know what's best for you sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
We are running short on time, but folks, please. Come out and meet Greg here today. He's going to be at Stellar Coffee here at 11:30 this morning here downtown, 315 North Main. If you've never been down here before, come down and have a cup of Joe or something else, and sit down and chit chat with Greg and find out a way to get more involved. Like you said, if you are tired of seeing what you're seeing, you need to get more involved. Whether it's getting more involved financially with a campaign or going out and knocking.
Police say they have now positively identified the human remains that were found 3 years ago as belonging to a homeless man who had recently been released from jail. The skeletal remains of 53-year-old John Littleton were found September 29th near the railroad tracks in the 300 block of North 1st Street in Artesia. A train conductor with BNSF made the discovery. Artesia police announced Wednesday that the autopsy remains open. Light Up Artesia gets underway today. The festivities beginning at 4 o'clock this afternoon with the Jingle Bell Jog. And then at 5:30 tonight, the second annual tree lighting ceremony. At 6, the Light Parade. And then head over to the Ocotillo at 7 for the Artrageous event. This year's theme for all of the events is Retro Christmas Rewind, nostalgia heavy, gaudy colors, aluminum trees, and vintage magic. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll have some cloud cover early today, and then we get sunshine in the afternoon. It will be cooler following that cold front. Afternoon high in the mid to upper 40s. Well, the overnight hours pretty cold. We're dipping into the 20s under clear skies, and then we'll bounce back to about 60 to 65 on the high on Friday and sunny. The upcoming weekend looks good. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. We're going to pass along some basketball scores from last night. Successful season openers for the Roswell boys and girls basketball teams. The Coyotes guys, no problem, at home against Anthony Gadsden, 77-28. Roswell's girls had a little tougher time in Anthony playing Gadsden, but they won 36-33. Dexter last night in girls action also knocked off West Los Las Vegas at home, 50-32. And congratulations to the guy selected to the All-Star football game, which will be played this Saturday in Artesia. For the big schools, Daniel Chavez-Gonzalez from Roswell, along with teammates Luke Lynn and Joaquin Bolaños. And for Goddard, Josiah Castillo was picked on the green team for the Rockets. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
Bill Cunningham is now in Roswell on 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
And it is closing in on 8 o'clock. Town Hall News coming up here in just a few seconds here. Stay tuned next hour, about 8:15 or so. We're going to replay our interview we had with Katie Wright from the Chaves County Extension Office, talking about now's the time for signups for classes for next year and through 4-H and extension clubs and all that. So we had a great conversation with her. We'll play that for you next hour. Town Hall News is up next. We'll be back on the other side. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Breaking news this hour from Town Hall. I'm Rich Thomason. The feds think they have their man. They've reportedly made an arrest in Virginia in the planting of 2 pipe bombs in Washington, D.C. a day before the 2021 U.S. Capitol riot. The devices were placed near the headquarters of the Republican National Committee and the Democratic National Committee. The bombs did not go off and no one was hurt. The Pentagon, responding to the controversy over attacks on suspected drug-running boats in the Caribbean, says the strikes have been ruled legal both by Pentagon as well as civilian lawyers. The Trump administration looking to ease the sticker shock that goes along with new car prices. The president says the super stringent and costly Biden-era fuel economy standards will be relaxed.
These policies forced automakers to build cars using expensive technologies that drove up costs, drove up prices, and made the car much worse. The action is expected to save the typical consumer at least $1,000 off the price of a new car, and we think substantially more than that.
The Trump team continues working to end the war in Ukraine. The White House confirms Trump envoy Steve Witkoff will meet today with Ukrainian negotiators.
President Trump conceded today that the next stage in this process is unclear, but it would seem that by going back to the Ukrainians, the U.S. negotiators, Steve Witkoff and President Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, are now set on seeking further concessions from the Ukrainian side. Deep divisions remain. Russia has called this week's talks constructive, but the two sides appear very little closer to resolving the crisis in Ukraine.
The BBC's David Willis. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 30 points, the Nasdaq off 48, the S&P 3 points in the red. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
A massive power outage has hit western Cuba. That includes the capital, Havana. The humming sound of generators can be heard throughout the city. Millions of people are without power on an island struggling with chronic outages blamed on a crumbling electric grid. Raul Calderon says there's no internet connection, so we don't know why they're cutting the power now for more than 3 days. The radio does not say anything. It is all silence. This is how we Cubans are living these days. The Cuban Ministry of Energy and Mines blames the outage on a failure on a transmission line that connects two major plants. Luabel Quintana says this country is in very bad shape. To get food is very difficult. This is very hard. We have to fight for everything. The power grid in Cuba is said to be operational, but the government says restoration of electricity would not be immediate. I'm Ed Donahue.
News and analysis, townhall.com. A University of Oklahoma instructor placed on leave in a case that pits academic freedom and free speech against political correctness.
It all happened after a student complained about receiving a failing grade on a paper. The student, Samantha Fulnecki, argued that her paper, which used the Bible to claim that belief in multiple genders is demonic, was unfairly graded. Turning Point USA took up her story and it went viral. This incident is part of a broader debate over academic freedom on college campuses. The university stated that the grade won't affect Fulnecki's academic standing. Keith Peters, Washington.
Venmo says an issue impacting the payment service has been fixed and it is back up and running. This after users had reported some trouble sending and receiving money. Peer-to-peer payment apps have been increasing in popularity over the past decade or so. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Button will turn on. Welcome to hour number 2.
The deuce
of Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. It's going to be a good day when you're goon handing your buttons.
maybe choose a new word for you. Just a little strong handing, because goon handing means that something entirely different these days.
Oh, does?
Yeah.
Man, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Back in my day, it didn't.
Yeah. No. They've taken. They took the word goon and gooning and turned it into something awful.
So is the movie Goonies like a bad thing now?
No, it's.
That's okay.
I'll tell you off the radio.
All right, I probably
Put it this way.
Something.
Go away, Baton.
Okay.
Help?
Yes, it does.
All right.
This is a Gabe the Babe moment. You gotta go old school to know that one. I knew Sean would get it right away.
That's fantastic. Mike doesn't know much Spanish. He was openly cursing in Espanol on the radio. Gabe goes, Mike, stop it. Gabe, our resident Hispanic in the building, and he spoke Spanish. And what was it? Pendejo?
I'm not even gonna. I know what it is, and I'm not gonna say it.
No, I know what. Yeah, okay, you're right.
Put it this way.
Like, sometimes when you see your grandkids, you want to give them a little pinchy on the cheek.
Put it this way: it was the mother of all cuss words in Espanol, or at least in English, the English version. That's the one that people cuss, and then they say that, and we're like, hey,
Barbara Streisand?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, in my defense, it was all over my prep sheet.
It really was.
What I had at the time.
Well, okay, so here's the thing: the prep sheets that we used to use,
yeah,
and some of us still use, are written with a national radio sense of mind.
Yeah.
And most, like the flyover states, Illinois, Indiana, there's not a lot of people up there that are going to hear that word and get all that offended.
Yeah.
Get down this region, well, yeah, it gets a little dicey.
Doesn't ring as true. Hey, I learned a lesson that day.
Well, and I will say that since the early days of those prep sheets, now you see a lot of broadcaster discretion advised warnings.
Oh, do you?
Oh,
I haven't looked at a prep sheet in 20 years, I don't think.
This is something that's sort of like, it's big to people like me and Mike. It's not really going to be that big of a deal to anybody else. Did you hear about what Clear Channel just announced?
No.
Okay, so the head of Clear Channel made a statement where he said, in this day and age, I don't have the statement exactly word for word, but I'm paraphrasing. In this day and age, with artificial intelligence permeating every single segment of society, he said, we want to let you know that any and all broadcasting that you hear on our Clear Channel stations is genuinely human. And they are now they've required all of their on-air personalities to include the word genuinely human in their legal IDs.
Nice.
Yeah. So they have sworn off AI.
That's
to
funny.
the point where now you have to tell people, no, this is all us. We are humans.
I'm Bob in the morning, and I'm a human being.
And the
genuine human being.
And the first time one of them messes up, they're going to blame AI. Watch. But it's just...
So what if I lie? What if I say, I'm Bob in the morning, and I am a robot? You know, am I going to get thrown in jail now?
If you accidentally throw a question mark, and I am genuinely human?
Right.
I'm sure they'll figure out a way to work it in, irreverently human or something like that.
And then, of course, my morning zoo brain is every time I do it, that song, I'm only human, born to make mistakes. Every time.
People are people. Yeah, so I can appreciate where they're coming from at the very least, because some in radio have gone the exact other way with artificial intelligence, and I'm not thrilled about it.
Yeah, Sean's. You want to pick a scab at Sean. Talk about ChatGPT, and you'll get a fight on your hands.
If you can't write a script, just give me copy points. I'll write your script. Okay? It's what I do.
I gotta be honest. Like, my popcorn moments off air during the day are these little battles, because peel back the curtain. Sean hates this completely. Meanwhile, we have people on staff that are like, we need to incorporate more of this into our program.
This is great. Are you seeing all this?
And I'm just sitting back going, oh, this is going to be fun to watch.
They're too long. They're overly wordy. You can tell when a prompt has been put in, because it'll mention it several. Yesterday.
See what I mean, folks? He's already going.
You can tell that somebody put the word tradition as one of the prompts in a script that I got yesterday, because it mentions it like 5 times about tradition. And I'm like, all right.
People. I'm a people person. I really like people.
It said the fast breaks, the buzzer beaters, and the holiday tradition. Come on.
You're out cheesing Sean. He don't like it.
It's not even that. I can do so much better.
Right. I know. I just laugh because I know this gets him going, and it's just like, this is fun to watch.
You know what it is? And I think a big part of it is they took our jobs.
Right.
It's that mindset of they're coming from a job.
I got nothing left in this world that people are going to want me for.
That's right.
That's all right.
This is all I have.
It's all right. Then it's time to find that cabin in, I don't know, Montana or somewhere and go live, that life.
Oh, you should go ahead and give us the rundown before I get infuriated, because now I'm thinking about them. Oh.
I tell jokes all the time. Actually, I'm not joking about this one, but I kind of am. I always tell jokes. People's like, man, other than the bombing stuff, the Unabomber's life, you know, I mean, like just living like in a shack in the middle of nowhere. I'm like, that's not a bad gig right now.
It doesn't sound like
other than the bombing thing.
Yeah, cutting out all the needless murder.
Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking it's not a bad gig.
It's me, a Leatherman, in a cabin in the woods.
That's right.
No murders.
No.
I mean, no reason to actually be there. But
well, I mean, some fishing and hunting. That'd be bad.
well,
you know, got to eat some meat.
Yeah. Animal murder, sure.
I'll take my one trip into town to get my stacks of cans of beans and Franks and what have you. My sipping whiskey. You know how to go.
Oh, okay, real quick. Did you see PETA's anti-Thanksgiving ad?
No. Okay. Why? They don't like Thanksgiving thanks?
Well, number one, it's an AI-generated image. You can always tell because they have that weird, like, gloss over them, the sheen or what. It's clearly AI. So it goes, you're going to third base with that turkey. And it shows a cartoon of a guy with his hand putting butter inside of like the turkey under the skin or whatever. And I'm like,
they went joke.
Yeah, so you went to third base with that turkey or whatever. But everybody was ripping on him because it was like this guy with like this real pervy face,
like he was way into it
inside of a turkey. Yeah, and so people were just ripping it apart on social. My question, the first thing I thought when I saw it is, if this is third base, what is home?
Right.
You just want to walk in and it's a whole American Pie situation going on.
Some questions you just don't ask.
We don't need the answer.
Ignorance can be bliss in certain aspects of life. This might be one of them.
Yeah, probably so.
But real quick, and then because I keep seeing commercials for it, and I'm getting more and more amped. Because I really enjoyed it, but I almost need to go back and watch it because I don't remember a lot. Fallout Season 2 is about to show up on Prime in a week. And I've never played the game or nothing, but I dug that show. The first season of it, and of course that was right when Walter Goggins, whatever his name is starting to getting famous, you know.
It's funny. We went from like hyping up Pedro Pascal and everything to then hyping up Walton Goggins and everything.
He's going to be our new, about a year from now, we're all sick of him.
Yeah. So that's coming out. And actually, it's funny because that show, the first season, actually got my kid's mom into the games.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, she had played them before.
Yeah.
But she watched the series and was looking for a new game to start anyways. And then she just...
Did you watch it?
I haven't watched it yet.
It's really cool.
I watched the first episode.
Yeah.
And I haven't cracked the seal.
Pull back the curtain. I kind of love that post-apocalyptic type movies and genres, you know. That's why I kind of like a thing for Walking Dead and
The Last of Us.
I always kind of have even that crappy Will Smith movie that he was. I kind of I kind of like that, you know. So I'm a mark for those,
right?
But that being said, it's well written. It's a great story. I don't know the game. I don't know anything about the game. I don't know how close it's 6 of the game, or I don't know any of that. Don't care.
Right.
I'm basing it solely on the TV.
Well,
series.
and that's the beauty of a show like this is. The people who love the game have talked about how true to the series it is.
Good.
And people who don't know the game still love it as a standalone series. So
never played 1 minute of the game and don't need it. It's really good.
It appeals on both sides, which is kind of a neat thing.
It's not like back in the day when they, you know, because I remember the infancy of when they started making movies and television shows out of games, and it was stuff like Doom. Remember that movie?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Speaking of new TV, and I have only seen one still about this, so I need to do more digging. But Fear Factor's coming back.
I know.
With Johnny Knoxville.
I saw a commercial for that.
I haven't seen a commercial. I just saw one still image of Johnny Knoxville in a bee suit.
I saw that and I was like, I need to tell Sean I forgot.
Yeah.
But that's it. I don't know how I feel about that.
You know what's funny, because Johnny Knoxville's the host.
Yeah.
So we've now gone to those who can't do, teach.
You're right. His doctor said, you got to stop doing this dumbness. I'll host a show while others do it.
Exactly. I'll just sit over here and host.
He's now Fear Factor emeritus.
Yes.
So. Well, does that mean in 20 years we're going to have Knoxville's going to have one of the largest podcasts ever known out there? It's kind of how Joe Rogan went. He was a Fear Factor guy. He was the original Fear Factor host. And if people remember.
He's got to get, well, here's the thing. Knoxville's got to get opinions about stuff.
That's true.
Nobody knows him for anything but pratfalls. So.
Well, he's got opinions.
Oh, I'm sure, but he's done a really good job of keeping them to himself.
I don't know. He could do half a podcast just on talking about the lives of all the jackass and all that genre of people. That's a year's worth of podcasting right there.
A 3-episode arc about the motorcycle that broke his urethra.
Yeah, exactly. All right, 8:18. Here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll have some cloud cover early today, and then we get sunshine in the afternoon. It will be cooler following that cold front. Afternoon high in the mid to upper 40s. Well, the overnight hours pretty cold. We're dipping into the 20s under clear skies, and then we'll bounce back to about 60 to 65 on the high on Friday and sunny. The upcoming weekend looks good. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 37 degrees, still overcast out there. Humidity is at 93%. Winds are calm for the moment. For today, it's not going to get warm. We got about 10 degrees more warming to do. But mostly cloudy this morning. Gradually becoming sunny. They say our high is expected to hit 47 today. East winds at around 5 miles per hour. Tonight, clear skies, overnight low of 24, so chilly. Probably want to think about trickling the water, all that good stuff. South winds at around 5 miles per hour. Friday, sunny skies, warming up a little bit, 60 for a high on Friday. Winds will be out of the west, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday night, clear skies, another chilly night, 27 for an overnight low. West winds at around 5 miles per hour. Weekend, Saturday, warming up. Sunny skies, 67 for a high. West winds 5 to 15. I'm going to take a guess. If you're traveling to Artesia, go check out the Red Green All-Star Games at noon and 3 p.m. on Saturday, which if you can't go out there, we will have those games for you on our ksvptv.com website. You can go to they'll have a channel set up just for the Red Green All-Star Games. But if you're heading to Artesia for that, weather should be good. Saturday night, looking at clear skies, overnight low of 35, sunny and 62 for Sunday, and then looks like next week's warming up nice. The number 70 enters in. We're talking 65 Monday, 69 on Tuesday, 76 on Wednesday next week. So things warm up for next week here, but today, not so much. All right, it is 21 minutes after 8 o'clock. We're going to take a quick break. Then we're going to play our interview with Katie Wright from the Chaves County Extension Office. Don't go away.
Injury, surgery, or illness can set you back, but you don't have to recover alone. At Artesia General Hospital, our rehabilitation services team provides physical, occupational, and speech therapy to help you regain strength, mobility, and confidence. Take the next step toward recovery. Call 575-736-8174 today to schedule an appointment and get back to living life to the fullest.
Christmas is almost here, and my wife has already picked out new clothes for me to give to her. Believe me, it's much safer that way. She tells me that the right clothes can make her feel confident and put together. In Colossians, Paul speaks of being clothed by Christ. He tells us to take off the old rags of anger, rage, malice, slander, filthy language, and lies, and put on the new and perfect clothing of God's chosen people: compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. Finally, he tells us to put on the best garment of all, and that's love, which binds everything together. No matter what we wear on our physical body, nothing matches the perfection of being clothed in and by Christ. Through his forgiveness and saving grace, we're clothed in his perfection and made holy by his sacrifice. Instead of worrying so much about the gifts we give and get this Christmas, let's remember the greatest gift of all, Christ coming to this earth to give us the opportunity to be saved.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
The inventor of Pringles is buried in a Pringles can. I wonder if they got their hands stuck putting them in there. Here's Mike Winters.
From the Chaves County Extension Office. Katie Wright back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Well, we're here. We got lots going on.
Yeah, I was kind of bummed. It was like you guys are still moving into the. I kind of thought, they'd be in there and kicking back in their new thing, but there is a few logistical delays there on getting that done. So
I'm hopeful within the next month and a half, we'll be over there. It sounds like we might be doing some kind of event.
Okay,
so
some little shindig.
Stay tuned. I can't really share much,
we'll
but
keep that under our vest or whatever here for a little bit here.
Yeah.
But so in the meantime, if you do have business with the extension office at their current 200 East Chisholm office there, that's where you go. If you go to the new place looking, you're not going to find them yet. So
Yeah.
might find some of their stuff, but not them.
some boxes to unpack for sure.
Well, while you're there, put those on the shelf. But that being said, just because they're not in the new office, they still can help out with all the things they can always help out with. Obviously, anything through 4-H, that's going to be Katie's world here. But, of course, we're getting at the end of the year. A lot of extension events start in the first of the year, and now's the time to sign up for those. A lot of the cooking and diabetes, that side of things, a little bit here, extension clubs, the time of year to kind of sign up for that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. Tamara's got a sewing extension club starting in January.
Okay.
So they meet the second Tuesday of the month at 11, and she's got a notification sign-up list going.
Okay.
So that is something big and new and exciting coming up.
So we want to get, so if you love sewing and love to meet people that do that, come be a part of extension clubs. We jokingly call or lovingly call 4-H for adults, which it kind of is. It's active, and these evolve as the public. So if you have a demand, you're like, man, I love lapidary, and I got 4 friends that love lapidary. Well, let's start a lapidary extension club.
What is that?
Yeah, polishing rocks.
Oh, okay. I learned something today.
Rock polishing and all that stuff. Yeah, but I just picked something right off the top of my head. That's what came out. My brain's weird. Sorry. But that's what Extension Club is your chance to kind of, so like you said, we got the sewing one. I think there's a quilters.
There's a quilters. There's several extension clubs. The sewing club is just new.
Gotcha. That's the new one. Yeah.
Yes.
That's
So if you're looking to jump into something new with other people that are doing something new,
there's a new one there.
I'm always like, I need my emotional support person when I go to something new. Like, who are we sticking with?
Right.
So we're all new starting the sewing club.
So all will be your emotional support people to each other as you learn and meet new people. But there is several extension clubs that are currently rolling, and you can roll in at any time. Just come to the extension office, and if there's one that's your thing, all right. Well, let's see if we're about putting one together. Maybe
we'll learn about lapidary.
Yeah, lapidary, or who knows? Maybe like I love playing chess. All right, we'll start a group of people play chess or whatever that is. This is now it is limited on facilities and things. It's like, well, I like to build bonfires. Well, great. Well, we can't be doing that in our facility.
That's not happening in the office.
But definitely,
if you want to talk about it.
Yeah. And I would even offer the same thing. Like if you do this stuff, maybe you can teach it in 4-H to some of the kids and be maybe they start a youth group for a sewing thing or something like that. And hey, you could be a part of that and share your hobbies and expertise with young folks here.
We have some amazing young seamstresses that could sure use some guidance and help. There's only so many hands.
I bet a couple of them probably teach us a few things.
Oh my goodness, I know, right? Very, very talented.
Especially when it comes to the technical side, because I know like back when I took home ec when I was a kid, like a sewing machine is night and day different than it was now. Now you got to have a computer engineering degree to operate that bad boy. I'm like, I can't get the string through the hole.
So a little bit of a side rabbit hole. Every time Ethan and I go through a museum, we find the old washer and dryer, and I'm like, man, I want a dumb washer and a dumb dryer again. Like, I turned you on, I told you to be this hot, and you need to run for this long. Yeah. That's what I expect.
I kind of like, I'm saying thermostats. I'm like, I know cold, I know hot. I don't like this window thing. I'm like,
I don't need you to tell me that you didn't think my clothes were not dry.
Yeah.
They were.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. Smart is not always smart. And same thing with like sewing machines. Like I remember, like we had literally those ones you flipped up and it was the black with the wheel. I mean, it's old school. There wasn't I think it had electricity. It was it was fancy enough to be electric. Short of that was it. You know what I mean? It was
electric pedal and a light.
Yeah.
That's the sewing machine I use. There's no shame in that.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, if someone handed me one today, I'm like, I mean, it's all programming and everything else, and it's like it's not sewing; it's computer engineering at this point.
It's neat.
So you might need the younger folks to learn you on some of that. If you're like, look, I could tell you the pattern and the stitch, but how that machine does it, I have no earthly idea.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
It's a thing for sure.
But anyway, Extension Club, 4-H, these are great opportunities for the community to get involved and like shooting. I mean, it's not all sewing and crafts. Some of it's shooting sports or, there's if there's an interest or a hobby, there's probably a 4-H or an Extension Club we could create for it or something.
Absolutely. So as far as the rest of the extension side of stuff, health, wellness, and prevention classes are on Tuesday, 4 to 5, starting in January.
Very good.
So extension is kind of hitting the ground running in January. Call, sign up, ask questions. It's also all over our Facebook. So really NMSU, Chavez, FCS is kind of the terms to search. But
just Google, because everything the extension office is under the NMSU umbrella. So.
Yes.
But if you type in Chavez County Extension, it should pop right up. But you'll see NMSU all over it, so don't let that think, that's the wrong thing. No,
it sure is the right thing.
That is it.
Part of us being hooked to NMSU is that we get to bring research-based information back into our communities. So they provide us a lot of information, a lot of resources, that kind of thing. So it's a little confusing, but it's ultimately a really, really good thing.
Sure. Well, this kind of... Like, you'll see it more prevalent in the ag side, like with the soil temperatures and that kind of stuff. That's where it kind of turns into the science-y, the college side of things. The 4-H and stuff is very much involved with that, but it's more prevalent in the actual, literally the dirt of the extension. And
if you think about it, that's the more timely stuff, right? You need the more up-to-date research.
Well, yeah, because, you and I that aren't farmers and ranchers, that information is like, the dirt's not hot, great, or whatever it is. But that's,
like, what does it matter if the dirt is warm or cold?
Yeah, for them, it's planting or not planting. Nope, we can't. We got to wait to plant because the soil's not thing. Or you know what, we're behind.
Your seeds won't germinate if it's not warm enough.
It's too hot. We got to get it in the ground now. This is their livelihood. This is their business. This is how you get when you go to the grocery store and find things. This is how they make it so you can find things there. So
absolutely,
so it's very important. So that's
different
why
types of hunting and gathering. I gather at the grocery store.
There you go. That's right.
But somebody had to get it there, right?
Exactly. So that's why it's very much attached to that. Which, by the way, don't forget too, if you are on that side and have questions about anything ag related or the pesticide, I'm sure that's usually around first of the year too, is those recertifications for pesticide and all that. That's all through the Chavez County Extension Office as well.
Yep. So their big thing coming up, we have gardening at the library is going to be held in conjunction with the library Christmas on December 20th.
Okay.
So you get to garden and have Christmas celebrations
that's
all
what
together.
The master gardeners.
Yes.
Yeah, they do their presentations at the library there.
Yeah, for sure.
And like I don't want to get, because I get in trouble a little bit here because they're like, you make it too intimidating. I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to tell you these people know more about gardening than you forgot. That's all I'm saying is they know, they've studied this stuff and they share their wisdom to you. So the information they give you, yes, you do not need to be an expert on it, but I will tell you this, they are more advanced gardening stuff. So like it's just advanced but yes they
live in it. They practice it every day. I mean,
that's the point I'm trying to make, but sometimes it gets off like
we took algebra 2 in high school, right? But like if you plopped that down in front of me, I haven't been actively practicing that. I'm probably going to struggle through
they know all the nuances and do it and actively do it, and then they share that information. So to me it's like it seems very intimidating, but it's not. It's just they're really good at work. I have a brown thumb. Their thumb is like the greenest of green. It's so green, it's like, man. Yeah.
So you said that, and I pictured the green giant on the vegetable packages, the frozen veggies. Yep.
The other guy that says ho, ho, ho.
Yes.
Because if you go ho ho, that's Santa. But if you go ho ho ho, that's Green Giant.
That is the Green Giant. We are not getting paid for this. No. Maybe we should be.
That's right. I'll take it. Take some checks, please.
Just drop them off.
But anyway, so please come. If you ever get a chance to go to one of their events at the library, please come. You will learn a lot and you'll enjoy. And who knows, you might find that tip that next thing you know, you're in the county fair next year. That's my prize pumpkin, or that's my prize whatever it is.
I think it's so crazy that they can get the pumpkins so big that they have to bring them in on a helicopter.
Oh, I know.
I haven't seen that here, but definitely see it at State Fair in Albuquerque.
Yeah, well, here I think
it's time.
Yeah, I think here they're relegated to forklifts and stuff because
right.
I don't think they've. But I've seen them like when they do our pumpkin things here, they're moving around in big forklifts and they're well. And to be honest, it looks like like if pumpkins had their own reality TV show, they would be like the TLC,
Yes.
My 1,000-Pound Sisters or my 600-Pound Life or any of those shows. That's what these pumpkins look like, because they're big gelatinous messes. They don't hold shape anymore, so it looks like someone poured pumpkin on the ground.
Okay, so this is the challenge to Chaves County. We need a gigantic gelatinous pumpkin.
So like they are like the TLC of TV if your pumpkins had reality TV. But anyway, it's pretty cool nonetheless.
I love it. I love it. Oh goodness.
But definitely now with the is that the year-long class we were talking about with the health and the wellness stuff, or is that?
I believe so.
Okay, that's when we sign up now. Now is it because everyone gets in the middle of the year like, when do I sign up? Now, because they start at the beginning of the year, and it's a year-long program, and it is you learn dealing with the diabetes and all that, but it's kind of a support group. It is all the other classmates are also dealing, and so you kind of work with each other and help each other and hold each other accountable. So, that day you're like, no, come on, we got to go to the gym, or no, lay off get the good pizza, not the one with the wheat crust and all, but when you keep it, holding each other accountable, doing all that stuff.
The really neat thing about this one is that you're not just learning. It's not just a lecture about everything you've done wrong.
Change, yeah.
Right. Like it's a discussion. We're also going to do some activity that is going to be easy.
Well, and that's the thing, dealing with diabetes and things. And yes, most people, you think of diabetes and, you get it because you ate a bunch of this and that. And it's like,
not necessarily.
No, I mean, and what impacts diabetes? Like, you could literally eat all the right things and your blood sugar's through the roof still.
Yes.
It's a lot to deal with stress, your DNA, other variables in your lifestyle. There's a lot of variables. Not necessarily because you ate a salad. You could still eat a salad and be well within your limits, and next thing you know, your blood sugar does shoot up 30 points. It just, that's the disease, and that's what it does. Now, that being said, there's, and that's the thing, too. You're not on a death sentence of eating no carbs forever. There's science behind it now, especially with the monitors and things they have. They found ways to where, like, no, you can eat carbs, but if you eat it in a certain way, like you base it with a bunch of next thing you know, it doesn't have the impact on your blood sugars that, like if you just ate a straight up candy bar would or something like that. And so that's what you learn in this class, is learn the nuances of diabetes and learning, and every person's different. And that's what gets you to learn that a little bit. It's like how you react to this, another person may not react that same way. And so, and the times of day you eat, and which way you eat, and how you do it, because your body has a natural cycle, and it's going to inject blood sugar at a certain time. And so you've got to live your life and act accordingly. Now, if your body shoots it in here, all right, then maybe you need to lay off food for a little bit because it naturally does this. But this is what this class, I know I'm getting, but that's what this class is about. It really teaches you how to manage the diabetes, and how it's like the guidebook to saying, okay, you just got this game with these weird rules. This is how you circumnavigate those rules. This is how you play by the rules and live healthy. And that's so don't think of it as a way of, this is ways that I can only eat cheeseburgers a certain way. Yeah, it's some of that, but it's much more than that. You can eat a regular quote unquote unhealthy thing if you do it the right way.
Yeah.
That's what this class teaches you about. So
doctors are great.
Yeah.
Like nurses are great. People that help you with your gym plan are great, but you live in your body every day, so you have to learn and understand.
Absolutely. And that's the thing is with that, it's all guidebooks, but your family history is different than someone else's. Therefore, how you react to something's not going to be the same. Now, granted, if you got a sibling, you probably share some similar things on that, but then there's other variables,
right?
And then when we get into diet, I mean, don't get me wrong, diet does impact it. If you're going to eat a bunch of cookies and stuff, and it's going to make you diabetic. But and to be honest, folks, in this, depending on your age, I grew up in a world where there was a lot of fallacies on food and everything and nomenclature and marketing and advertising, and so people have been eating what they think is healthy is not healthy. And so that's contributed to diabetes. And to be honest, the things you see on the shelf is a lot of paying attention to, what these terms mean. And just because something says healthy, fat-free, or that may not be the best for you as a diabetic. Maybe there's something that's more, but that's what this class is about. And
don't get me started on food labeling. That's a whole
But these are what you're fighting against.
Yes.
And
yeah.
And so if you're looking at this as an embarrassment or shame or like, oh, I don't need someone to talk. I just got to eat leaf. No, there really is get help. This isn't about, you don't realize what you don't know until you learn you don't know it. And that's what this class is all about. You think you know, and you think, well, if I eat salads and exercise, I'll be fine. It's like, yeah, but you can live an enjoyable life and do things you want to do and do it how you do it and not live this monk regime of, I only eat this potato at this time with no butter, no whatever. Some people can live like that. I'm not one of those people. But this teaches you how to live a normal life in dealing with diabetes.
Cauliflower crust pizza isn't that bad.
No, I've been eating them all the time.
I love it. I like it better than a regular crust. So,
I'm kind of like, I get moods. Like, I'll want it, and then I overdo it, and then I won't touch one for a while. And then I'm like, maybe. But and those are ones I've got to pay attention to the cooking.
Yeah.
Because if you undercook those, they're not as good.
No,
They got to be almost.
They got to be seasoned right. Yeah, you've got to figure it out.
And to be honest, if your first go at those are frozen pizzas, then you're not doing it right. Because those aren't nearly as good.
Very sad.
Yeah, those aren't nearly as tasty. You can, again, Kitchen Creations will teach you how to make one that's like homemade, like your Italian grandma made or whatever, But,
yes.
But
have you had cauliflower fried rice?
I've not had that.
Oh my gosh, I like that better than the pizza.
Than the regular.
crust.
Oh, the pizza crust. Okay.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of. I've not had a rice iteration. I've had some other iterations and things like that. But
I haven't tried the mashed potatoes, quote unquote.
That's gonna be hard to let go. Although potatoes in and of itself aren't bad per se.
They're not as bad as they're made out.
There
to
are
be.
way worse carbs on there. So
Yes.
if you're gonna eat carbs, a potato is not a bad one to eat.
Yes.
Now, if you load it up with a bunch of sour, not even things that also have carbs. You put barbecue sauce and a bunch of other sweet things on it, and then next thing you know, it's a hot mess. But it's kind of like a salad. Salad's healthy until you put 8 gallons of dressing on it, and everything else is going to shoot your carbs up, and But then again,
moderation.
And that's true too. You can, and that's where you eat a salad that's full of lot carb. You can cheat a little and put a little bit more dressing on it because it won't impact. And again, this is what the class teaches you. So I know I got way too long on that, but it really is a good deal. And
it is.
And
really
I know
is.
because I've lived exactly what you're talking about. You get in that world and you're like, great, I'm gonna be eating a hot mess for the rest. I can't eat anything that tastes good. I'm pretty much done with and all that, and it's depressing.
Yeah,
it messes with your mental health and everything else. This class will give you a new outlook on that. Please sign up. Please do it earlier the better because it will fill up. There's only a limited number, and I'm telling you, if you wait till January on this one, you're going to be left out. Yeah, I'm telling you, you need to come down to the extension office or call or come by and get that locked down now and get on Tamara's class. You'll be very glad you did. And but space is limited because you're going to come back in February. Like, when's it? Sorry, you got to wait till to next December to get it signed up again. So do it now.
Absolutely.
What else we got? I know I got way on the long on that
It's
one.
all good. So on the 4-H side, we are still in our open enrollment, which means we are happily welcoming all youth. We welcome kids to join us all the time. But if you join now, you are eligible for the competition season of 2026.
Cool. So if you want to get in on fair season next year, now's the time to.
Yes.
And that's the sweet spot because if you're going to raise an animal, well, guess what? There's not like a box they come in and you add water and next thing you know, you got a chia animal. No, you got to go get the animal.
It takes a long time.
Yeah, there's a whole process.
Absolutely.
You're seeing the end result when you watch them at the fair. Now the real work begins.
And really, even sooner than that is our shooting sports season, especially for our older kiddos. They need to be enrolled pretty quick to be eligible for
reminds me, I'm supposed to call. I forgot
the
to do
shooting sports contests in mid to late spring.
Very good.
So that is open. Please join us. That is youth ages 5 to 18 with some different caveats about when your birthday falls and all that good stuff.
People that have birthdays right around like the first of the year or stuff, they know that stuff really because they have to deal with it at school and everything else. So, so you have to deal with some of those
There's
things.
13 and 8th grade caveats, and you can.
My brother was one of those people. He's a December baby.
Turn 19, but not before January 1 and all the things. So if you have questions, call. 4-H is kind of like drinking from a fire hose if you've never been in it before, but once you figure it out, it's the best thing you could ever do.
It's a lot to you get your niche kind of thing.
Yes. So we've got project workshops going on right now. I've got some electricity happening. We're doing rocketry and beef coming up. Tamara's going to start quilting with our 4-Hers in January.
Excellent.
Quilting is a lot to take on, so we suggest starting that now so
Quilting
we're ready by fair.
Well, quilting's one of those things, and this is why people love the quilting so much. It's a labor of love. I'm thinking at the end of the day, like the physical stitches and stuff aren't hard to learn. It's just the monotonous, tedious time it takes to put thousands of those in, and that's why you see multiple people working on a quilt, because there's literally, if you got a half dozen people working on the quilt, it's sure a lot easier than one person making that quilt. And so that's why these quilting clubs. So if you want to learn to quilt, learn that, you kind of learn from people, and then you kind of get in the thing, and next thing you know, you're part of the quilting circle.
Right.
And so that's the cool part.
Right.
Of it.
And it's so crazy to see these kids doing that, right? Like we see the quilt squad, the extension clubs doing it. And don't get me wrong, it's cool when they do it too. But then you're like, wait, you're 8 and you did that?
Well, and the part I love about it is they're keeping this, let's face it, in the world of technology, in the world of machines and in ordering and push button everything, home economics type things like sewing, crafting, those are starting to take a back seat. And so it's so important to teach young...
No pun intended.
Yeah, right. But it's so important to teach young people quilting, sewing, craft, because you know what? It's always going to be needed. Always. I don't care how advanced we get, how technology... Someone's going to need to mend socks. Someone's going to need to make a blanket. Someone's going to want homemade I don't care what anybody says. There is no blanket that you buy in a store that's ever better than something made you, whether it's a quilt or a crochet or whatever that is. It's never better. There's no store no blanket in a store anywhere that's better than something your mom or grandma or family member or loved one made for you.
Absolutely.
And that's why it's so important. So it makes me happy when you see 8, 9-year-old children learning to crochet, learning to quilt, learning to sew, learning to cook, learning to do these things, because they're going to grow up in even a more world where there's less of that type thing around. So them to have that skills to pass on to their kids, to keep the traditions going. I know that sounds very like, we're just here making blankets, right? No, I know that sounds like I'm getting a little nostalgic or anything, but really, if you want to keep
reality,
you want to keep your way of life, what we do and this is how you do it, is keeping these things. And so, and to be honest, I hope you get a lot of family members, whether it's father, son, mother, daughter, grandmother, whatever it is, do these together and do, maybe they're doing it, and then you get the 4-H with the kids, and then mom and dad or whatever's in one of the extension clubs for quilting. Do these things together, so when you're at home, you can do them together and really instill that love and create memories. And next thing you know, there's creating keepsakes that, next thing you know, you got that quilt hanging on the wall because that's your grandma made, and you created that by coming to an extension club or coming to 4-H. So that's the cool part.
Absolutely.
Again, I got one other soapbox, but
that's okay. That's okay.
But yeah, so sign up, and if you know what, that's the beauty of 4-H too. If you're like, I don't care about quilting, there are so many different facets. If you're into computers, 4-H got you covered. If you're into, like I said, shooting sports, 4-H got you covered. If you're into sports, there's other things through 4-H that got you covered. There's so many. If you have an interest, odds are there is a topic or a club in 4-H that has your interest in mind.
We just had our 4-H in service in Ruidoso, and we're adding projects.
Excellent. Good.
It just amazes me that there's stuff that we don't have.
We're missing some.
So, like, one of them that we're adding is fly fishing.
Okay.
It's not here yet, but it's in the works. So, even if we don't have it, it's not an option.
There you go. So, hey, calling all fly fishermen. Maybe you want to make this cement the deal and lend your expertise to it.
We could sure use some extra expertise. I tell you what.
Any fly fishers out there. And I'm guessing just because of the nature of the waterways we have around here, they're kind of shallow. Fly fishing is the way to go on some of that stuff.
Yeah, I have no idea. I know nothing about this world.
I know bare minimum about fishing, but I know like fly fishing is generally done in creeks and riverbeds. I'm trying to combine creeks and rivers and came out creek. Creek and riverbeds and places that are more shallow watered. That type of fishing where, with the hook in the water, and that's more deeper waters. But that would be awesome. So.
Yeah. I'm looking over beekeeping and clowning right now. I promise you we have something for you.
Beekeeping's good because I know there's a lot of people doing their own honey, and that's a thing now. And like you go to, certain time of season, you go to Roswell City and get bees and get all the accoutrements
you don't even have to have your own bees to do the beekeeping project.
You could learn, get stung off someone else's bees.
Phone a friend, make some beeswax candles, whatever else.
And by the way, you get access to honey. Local honey.
How much better does it get?
That is always better. At health benefits, it's better. Local honey, if y'all didn't know, like if you got allergy issues and stuff, eat local honey. Local honey. It's got to be, because that's got the stuff that pollinated with that kind of builds up an immunity for you on some of those things. So, I mean, get Texas honey. It'll be tasty, but it won't beneficially help you there. If you get something that was grown here in Travis County, Roswell area, which you see on store shelves from time to time, or better yet, sign up for extension or for 4-H, and you could, learn the thing and start your own little honey. And I'm just telling you, depending on how good you're at it, you could make a side hustle pretty good on that, because people are willing to buy up your honey very quickly.
Absolutely. We have a lot of really great local small businesses that are pairing with producers.
Yeah.
I mean,
demand's way a lot higher than supply on that one. So if you get an interest in that, I'm telling you. Not to mention, we need more bees, just globally, worldwide.
Always.
If you Mother Nature does not happen without bees. I don't care what anybody says on every point of the planet. So the more I know, granted, these are kind of earmarked for a certain thing, but they're pollinating, they're spreading, they're continuing the plant life, and they're doing all that stuff. So, but yeah, I know these are granted kind of built for one purpose, to make honey, but they need the pollinate to get honey. So by default,
it's a win-win.
Yeah, exactly. So, but anyway, and to be honest, and then you learn the other stuff too, because like if you're looking for certain taste of honeys, we'll put certain flowers around your hive so they'll pollinate and evoke. There's all kinds of
some
tricks
lavender
to the trade.
honey.
Yeah.
That's some good stuff.
Yeah, there's tricks to the trade there, and that's what you learn all that. So, good deal. What else did I
think that's all I've got for you.
Well, good, because I've been kind of taking everything and talking over, but I'm just trying to prove a point. There's a lot going on.
There's always so much going on.
Whether it's through 4-H, through the extension clubs and side of the thing, or through the ag side. And of course, if you have any questions about any of that stuff, don't hesitate to call or come by. And if you guys can't get an answer directly for them, you'll turn over the leaves to find that answer for them.
Oh, I guess I do have one more thing. We are still hiring an ag agent.
Yes, we do need a replacement for there. So again, you can I think apply through probably through NMSU. I know through Workforce Solutions Connections. I'm not sure what you call that, but
NMSU Travis County Ag Job. Ding! It'll come right up. So, and anybody interested in the ag side, whether that's entomology, production, cattle, animals, really anything ag, we are interested in, would love to have you on our team.
Excellent.
So feel free to reach out.
Very good. Well, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Mike.
And we will see you next time.
Yes, sounds
Happy
good.
Thanksgiving. I won't see you between Turkey Day and all that.
All the things.
You going to be in town, or are you going out of town?
I don't even know.
You don't know? Do you have to cook?
Probably.
Okay. So,
probably going to get my recipes out of the Christmas showcase book.
You know what? You do got, some people that
I do know some people.
And by the way, if you talk nicely and you want to get maybe a book and you missed out, they can.
You should buy them before we move, so we don't have to move them.
I think it's $5 for the book or something like that. Yeah, it's very affordable.
It's very, very affordable.
And if you're looking for old ones, they do keep some around, and if they have them, you're more than welcome.
We're getting a little low on our supply of old ones.
Well, they're trying to make room because they're moving, and unless they can get rid of now, the less they got to carry over to the new place.
Exactly.
So you would be doing them a favor. So good deal.
Yep.
Well, thank you.
Thanks,
see you next
Mike.
time.
See ya.
Your Pecos Valley news updates. I'm Jared Cirillo. Thanks for joining us this hour. First off, Artesia police say they have now positively identified the human remains that were found 3 years ago as belonging to a homeless man who had recently been released from jail. The skeletal remains of 53-year-old John Littleton were found September 29th near the railroad tracks in the 300 block of North 1st Street in Artesia. A train conductor with BNSF made the discovery. Artesia police announced Wednesday that the autopsy remains open. Light Up Artesia gets underway today. The festivities beginning at 4 o'clock this afternoon with the Jingle Bell Jog. And then at 5:30 tonight, the second annual tree lighting ceremony. At 6, the light parade. And then head over to the Ocotillo at 7 for the Artrageous event. This year's theme for all of the events is Retro Christmas Rewind, nostalgia heavy, gaudy colors, aluminum trees, and vintage magic. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
It's time for the Travis County Sports Report. We're going to pass along some basketball scores from last night. Successful season openers for the Roswell boys and girls basketball teams. The Coyotes guys, no problem, at home against Anthony Gadsden, 77-28. Roswell's girls had a little tougher time in Anthony playing Gadsden, but they won 36-33. Dexter last night girls action also knocked off West Las Vegas at home 50-32. And congratulations to the guys selected to the All-Star football game, which will be played this Saturday in Artesia for the big schools, Daniel Chavez Gonzalez from Roswell, along with teammates Luke Lynn and Joaquin Bolaños. And for Goddard, Josiah Castillo was picked on the green team for the Rockets. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll have some cloud cover early today, and then we get sunshine in the afternoon. It will be cooler following that cold front. Afternoon high in the mid to upper 40s. Well, the overnight hours pretty cold. We're dipping into the 20s under clear skies, and then we'll bounce back to about 60 to 65 on the high on Friday and sunny. The upcoming weekend looks good. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
All across America, this is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report, sponsored by Abacus Global Management.
Good morning. Stocks open after rising again. They rose partly because an ADP report on more layoffs has further increased expectations for another cut in interest rates next week to encourage companies to expand and increase hiring. Some on Wall Street think that job creation is more important than controlling inflation right now. Salesforce Sales and Marketing says their business rose. Macy's sales rose. Dollar Tree's sales rose by one of the fastest rates in years, showing the demand for discounts. Dollar Tree says most of its new customers are high-income shoppers. How do they know that? From credit and debit card data and all other kinds of data that they can find too. Walmart says it's winning over more people in all income groups, with the biggest gains coming from high-income shoppers. Walmart stock is up 27% this year. Adobe Analytics says use of buy now, pay later has hit a record high. A monthly survey says service businesses have been stronger than expected recently, including financial services and insurance firms. And mortgage applications rose slightly last week. With business, I'm Joe Connolly.
This is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report, sponsored by Abacus Global Management.
What if the future of finance wasn't built around averages, but around you? At Abacus Global Management, we're reshaping financial planning around the most personal data point, your lifespan. But it's more than just insight, it's control. As a technology-driven asset manager, we're empowering investors with an integrated system to take command of your time, your future, your financial destiny. This is a new era of investing. Take control at abacusgm.com.
It doesn't matter if you've been naughty or nice. Everyone gets our very best price during the year-end sales event at Roswell Ford.
It's the final days to trade up for less during the year-end sales event at Roswell Ford. Last chance for 0, 0, 0. That's 0% financing for 60 months, 0 down payments, and 0 payments till March 2026. Plus, if you're making payments on your current vehicle and want out early, Roswell Ford will do whatever it takes to help you escape from your trade, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth, regardless of make, miles, or condition. Worried that your credit is on the naughty list? Roswell Ford has partnered with more aggressive lenders who will push to approve your credit, even if it's less than perfect. All roads lead to huge American-made savings, 0 down, 0 APR, and 0 payments till March 2026. Get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell. Call 575-623-3673 or online at roswellford.com.
Interest accrues from date of sale. 0 APR is 1667 per thousand financed on 2025 F-150s. Subject to lender approval. Offers not combined on select vehicles.
Injury, surgery, or illness can set you back, but you don't have to recover alone. At Artesia General Hospital, our rehabilitation services team provides physical, occupational, and speech therapy to help you regain strength, mobility, and confidence. Take the next step toward recovery. Call 575-736-8174 today to schedule an appointment and get back to living life to the fullest.
The tool used to measure your feet at the shoe store is called a Brannock device. The person that measures your feet at home for no reason is called a creep with a foot fetish. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:57. Got a few minutes here before top of the hour news. Stay tuned next hour, around 9:15 or so. Larry Martin with Midday Lions will be joining us. And it is that time of year with the holiday season. We're weeks away from Christmas. They do their annual romantic Christmas carriage rides I believe they'll be doing them December 13th and the 20th this week or this year. But we'll get all the details and all that from Larry. It's really a lot of fun, and it's a great fundraiser for all the great work the Lions do. But it's really great when families go out there, or maybe make a romantic couples evening, going out there in a carriage ride in the evening, looking at the Christmas lights and enjoying cocoa and all that. So we'll talk with Larry from the Midday Lions next hour about that. If you are a high school basketball fan, in Artesia right now, the City of Champions Classic is going on, their annual basketball tournament that kind of kicks off the basketball season there for them. But games are going on all day there. You can watch the games there. There's a City of Champions Classic channel at our website, ksvptv.com, and they got all the games there. Like at this moment, they got a boys matchup between Portales and Deming that is going on, and they're just going to keep that stream open. And whatever games are going on at the moment there at the pit there in Artesia, they'll have streaming on there. Now, I believe there's no announcers with the exception of Artesia games and that sort of thing. But for the next several days, all the games from the City of Champions Classic, you'll find them there. So you can watch basketball all day if you want here. Just don't tell the boss, unless, you're the boss. Then. But we're not. There's always somebody's got a boss, right? But anyway, we have all that there for you at ksvptv.com. Again, when you get there, it'll be right at the top of the page, the City of Champions Classic, and you'll pretty much see a game. Like, for instance, if you go there right now, you'll see that Portales-Deming matchup going on right now. So basketball plenty for you next couple days there on that. And, of course, as the season progresses, we get the Pocorn and all that, we're going to have all those games for you. Same style there, too. So make a note. That one happens right after Christmas, right before New Year's, right during that holiday week there. That's annual tradition there. So we'll have it there for you. All right, it is 9 o'clock. Town Hall News next.
Chris DeGaulle is now in Roswell on 106.5 FM KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
Breaking news this hour from Town Hall. I'm Rich Thomason. After almost 5 years, the FBI has reportedly made an arrest in its investigation of pipe bombs planted at 2 locations in Washington, D.C. on the eve of the 2021 U.S. Capitol riot.
Seeking a breakthrough in the case as this year began, the FBI published additional information about its investigation, including an estimate of the suspect's height. It also released a previously withheld video of the shadowy image of the suspect placing one of the bombs on the evening of January 5th, 2021, near the offices of the Democratic and Republican National Committees in D.C. The devices did not detonate and no one was hurt. George Williams, Washington.
Presidential envoy Steve Witkoff is meeting in Florida today with Ukrainian officials as the Trump administration continues trying for a deal to end the war in Ukraine. President Trump referring to his team's earlier meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin.
He would like to end the war. That was their impression. Now, whether or not, that was their impression. Their impression was that he would like to see the war ended. I think he'd like to get back to dealing a more normal life. I think he'd like to be trading with the United States of America, frankly, instead of, losing thousands of soldiers a week.
Calling them ridiculously expensive, burdensome, and horrible, President Trump is trashing Joe Biden's stringent fuel economy standards for new vehicles. Mr. Trump says the move should cut at least $1,000 from the cost of a new vehicle, while encouraging automakers to invest more in their American manufacturing while producing vehicles that consumers really want. Unemployment applications fell last week, dropping to 191,000. That is the lowest level in more than 3 years. Watching Wall Street, the Dow is up about 10 points, while the NASDAQ 17 points in the red. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
It is a long-running mystery that investigators have not given up on trying to solve.
More than 11 years after it disappeared, the search for Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 is restarting. Malaysia's Transport Ministry said Texas-based firm Ocean Infinity will resume its deep-sea hunt later this month under a no-find, no-fee deal. The company has upgraded its technology since its last search in 2018 and will focus on areas considered most likely to hold the missing Boeing 777. The aircraft vanished in 2014 on a flight from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing carrying 239 people. Only small pieces of debris have ever been found. Ocean Infinity will search from December 30 and will be paid $70 million only if wreckage is discovered. I'm Nayeon Kim.
News and analysis at townhall.com. Overnight stays at the Grand Canyon South Rim lodges canceled because of infrastructure issues.
There is only one water line to the South Rim, and crews are working on multiple breaks to that line. The failures have prompted strict conservation measures to preserve limited resources. This is just the second time overnight stays have had to be canceled. For park staff and the 2,500 who live year-round in Grand Canyon Village, it means short showers, less toilet flushing, and turning off faucets while shaving or brushing teeth. Day visitors are still welcome at the South Rim, and there is lodging available outside the park. The goal is to have the water line fixed and the lodges open again as early as next week. I'm Ed Donahue.
Later today, President Trump will host the Congolese and Rwandan presidents at the White House. It is a peace agreement signing ceremony. The deal is aimed at ending the bloodshed in eastern Congo. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travelician, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Tres Inviernos
of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Thursday.
Ah, yes.
Sure happy it's Thursday.
S-H, it's Thursday.
Yeah.
It's feeling a lot like winter out there.
Today is definitely winter-esque.
Whenever I see the weather say there's a wintry mix, it always makes me think of like a snack mix.
Right.
Like I feel like there should be rye chips in there.
Like
little tiny pretzel pieces.
I gotta be honest, in my version of wintry mix, it's like a Chex Mix.
Yeah.
With the sugary chip.
Oh, you're talking about like a okay, now here's the thing.
Yeah.
Their brand is called Muddy Buddies.
Yes.
But I grew up calling it Puppy Chow.
Yeah.
That's what we always called it growing up because you made it at home with the powdered sugar and the peanut butter, and you put it in the Ziploc bags and you shake it up, and we called it Puppy Chow. But then they released it and they called theirs Muddy Buddies.
Right.
So
and they have different flavors of
They
them.
do.
Like there's a cookies and cream one, a peanut butter one, a full-on like chocolate one.
Here's a question. I stumbled on this the other day. If you have to kill off one piece in the Chex Mix, what do you kill? And here are your choices.
Okay.
Corn Chex, wheat Chex. Square pretzel piece, circle pretzel piece.
Okay.
Mini breadstick, and rye chip.
For me, this is easy.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I love pretzels, you got two variations.
And that's my point. People were like, "You cancel. You just get rid of, get rid of the rye chips. Who needs rye?" I'm like, "There's two kinds of pretzels in here, and if you pour out that bag and take a ratio, like I'm no Chex scientist, but if you take a ratio, the rye chip is the most underfilled chip of the selection.
Yeah,
they give you less of those.
But I mean,
that's the best.
unless you've
one.
got some weird circle square thing going on in your brain. I mean, does it really matter if it's all squares or all circles or some squares?
I need right angles with my pretzels.
Yeah.
But that's the thing.
Like, the flavor profile don't change.
And I've never done this, but I've always had a theory.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and this is with most snacks. The flavor that is generally the best / most popular, there's like two of.
Right.
And this happens almost across the board. You know who's notorious for it? High Chew.
Yeah.
I love High Chews. But there's like certain ones that I like a lot more.
Yeah.
And there's only like one of them in the bag ever.
And this is why, and I really hate myself for saying this. I'm no longer a Cracker Jacks guy. I'm a Fiddle Faddle and Crunch and Munch guy.
Because you know what? I'm pretty sure they eliminated peanuts.
There's like one peanut in that whole box.
What they do is they hold up a stack of caramel popcorn and they yell peanuts at it and then put it in the box.
Like one of them, I can't remember if it's Crunch and Munch or the other one. They literally give you this cluster just full of popcorn, caramel, and nuts, all in this one conglomerated bite.
Right.
And I ain't gonna lie, I like that.
Yeah, Crunch and Munch is the sleeper, I think.
Yeah.
That and Fiddle Faddle. But Fiddle Faddle you don't really hear about these days. That's a shame. Fiddle Faddle's become the Hydrox of the.
Well, you know what? If you did, on occasion, I do. I haven't done it recently.
This Hydrox is the Hydrox of the snack world. Sorry.
Right. I am a frequenter. When I hit the dollar store, I just go down there, like, ooh, Oreo thing? Yeah, throw that in there. It's like they're like one pack for $1. Fiddle Faddle City.
You know what? That's also a good place to find. Oh, and I can't think of the name of the chips now. But they've got the Captain on them. It's a white bag. It's like a.
Is it Captain John's or Captain?
Yeah, it's like Captain Jack's. Those are. Now I understand you're a nuts man, but those are some of the best you are ever going to eat in your entire life. They're kettle chips.
Yeah, I agree. I will take this. When I say Utz are my favorite chips, they are.
Sure.
Mass produced.
Okay.
I'm not going to go after small market, very regional. And Utz, granted, you can't per se get them here. You can now, kind of. They are a national brand. They are something that is, universally known in many places. So, whereas Captain Jank's, whatever it's called, is not so much.
It's not Captain Jack's, but I'm gonna look into it. But
like Herbs. Herbs is when it's national, but is it though? It's the Donald Duck orange juice of chips.
Yeah, they're a regional chip, but they have distribution rights for now. For example, now they sell Her's chips in what was I think Associated or Affiliated Foods.
Yeah.
It's like the farmers and stuff. So now they're selling them too.
I remember a chip as a young man, but I don't know if it was a national brand or regional. Do you remember Wise chips with the owl? Wise?
Vaguely. I vaguely do. Yeah.
Like it was almost like a Ruffles knockoff, if I remember right. Or kind of like a comparable to Ruffles chips.
Yeah,
I think they were ridged.
I do remember those vaguely. Yeah. Of course, there's a lot of owl-based characters out there. Hang on, Wise chips. Let me look these up.
Yeah.
Yep, and I think they may still be around.
Okay.
Wise snacks.
I ain't seen one in a minute, so I didn't know if they were around still or. They were kind of a big deal, but I don't know if that was just a DC big deal or is that a national big deal?
They're a national thing, but we didn't really have them a lot where I grew up.
Like, I mean, I talk about Cookie Puss and Carvel and people, but back in DC, man, that's a household name, you know.
But then again, like around here, if you say like Duvalin or something like that, you know, people lose it. Polporindo,
although
stuff like that.
Pull back curtain, you go to like your Walmarts and stuff, you'll see caramel cakes in there.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? In the freezer, I did see. Yeah, they have like
they have Friendly's cakes and Carvel's cakes, and Friendly's is another another kid thing. It's just a godsend as a kid. A trip to Friendly's was my and because and I got to go there often because my mother had a real love for their Jim Dandy sundae, which is basically a banana split sundae in a big wine cup. But
just get fancy with it.
Me, I was the Reese's peanut butter cup sundae guy, and they mix chocolate ice cream and then hot fudge and warm peanut butter, and then they all that, and then they always put a cup, they whipped cream, cherry, and then a Reese's peanut butter cup on the top.
Nice.
They had a Pieces version that was vanilla ice cream in the same, and then Reese's Pieces.
That's my jam.
That is,
I'm
but
more
you know
of a
me and my
Pieces person.
chocolate.
Oh, I know. I understand.
But I would sometimes go loop on them and say, I want the Pieces sundae. No vanilla, chocolate ice cream.
People go, well, what about peanut butter M&Ms? No, they're not the same, and I'll tell you why. Peanut butter M&Ms have chocolate.
Yeah.
They have chocolate in them. Reese's Pieces are pure peanut butter.
That's true. And the candy shell or whatever it is. And also, back when I was a Friendly's frequenter, the M&M peanut butters were not a thing.
Yeah, that didn't really become a thing. Variations on products really kind of hit its stride in like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
I think.
Now, Friendly's Pullback Curtain's a full-on family restaurant. They sell burgers and meals. Kind of Denny's with an amped up ice cream shop.
Right.
Basically is what it is. So.
I think I'm trying to think. I think there's one not in this state, but I think within driving distance, like from us. I think Texas, I think West
May
Texas.
Have a Friendly's? Yeah, there's not very many. Even in the East Coast where they were, they reigned king, there's not many left. You know?
I remember seeing the sign.
There's only one or two left in the entire D.C. area.
I don't think the sign was like, exit 2,478 miles.
But for me, it just scratched an itch. I grew up as a Friendly's fan and loved Friendly's, and a family trip to Friendly's meant it's going to be a good day, Mike. So it always hits me.
It's
like
nice little pat on the head.
It hits me different. So, speaking of good days, Larry Martin's here with our midday lines. It is the holiday season. It is upon us, whether you are ready for it or not. It's here, and of course that means midday lines. Their annual tradition of the carriage rides out to go see the Christmas lights is firing up here. I believe it'll be December 13th and 20th those weekends, but Larry will come in, correct me if I'm wrong on all that. So we'll do that here.
I have such fond memories of the carriage rides from years past that it's one of my favorite things. It's like one of my favorite traditions because it really does get you into that spirit of the season. You know, when unprompted, you just start singing Christmas carols and just taking in the people in the route. They really do go the extra mile when it comes to decorations.
Well, and to be honest, it's the part of Christmas that most people like. It's we get so wrapped up in the commercial hubbub of getting this and stressing about all that nonsense. At the end of the day, and you're all stressed from that, and then on an evening night there, you go out, sit down, and it's quiet. You're in the carriage. It's the lights are going. You got your cocoa action. It's a moment of zen.
Yeah.
And then you hopefully bring your family or your significant other, and you make a night of it.
And the cool part too is it starts before the carriage even takes off because you're standing in the parking lot, you're waiting, and you're around the fire, and you got your I was apple cider person more than cocoa, but your warm beverage, your hot bev. And just enjoying the spirit of the season,
Yep. It's the part that everyone likes about Christmas, not the other hot garbage. So, anyway, Larry's going to join us here in just a bit. Before we do that, though, let's get you up to date on the weather.
Weather this hour brought to you by Southwest Bearing under new ownership. Custom solutions for your heavy equipment. Hydraulic hoses, hose repair, bearings, seals, sprockets, belts, tools, fluids, and fittings.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll have some cloud cover early today, and then we get sunshine in the afternoon. It will be cooler following that cold front. Afternoon high in the mid to upper 40s. Well, the overnight hours pretty cold. We're dipping into the 20s under clear skies, and then we'll bounce back to about 60 to 65 on the high on Friday and sunny. The upcoming weekend looks good. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 38 degrees, still overcast, but that's supposed to change as the day progresses. We're not getting a lot warmer. We're not getting out of the 40s today, allegedly. But anyway, currently 38, humidity's at 89%, winds are calm right now. Mostly cloudy this morning, but the sun's supposed to start burning through here by, I'm guessing, midday. High of 47, so we're not warming up by another 10 degrees or so. East winds at 5 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear, going to be chilly. Overnight low of 24, so might want to think about trickling the faucets and all that good stuff tonight. South winds at around 5 miles per hour. Warming up a little bit for you Friday, though. Sunny skies, highs near 60 tomorrow. Winds will be out of the west at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday night's going to be another chilly night, mostly clear, but an overnight low of 27. West winds at around 5 miles per hour. Saturday, downright pleasant. Sunny skies, 67 for a high. West winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Saturday night, a little warmer. Clear skies, overnight low of 35. Sunday, we're going to sit in the 60s, 62. Sunday night, overnight low of 27. Then next week, warming up. We might even see the 70s because they're talking 65 on Monday, 69 Tuesday, 76 for a high on Wednesday of next week. So warmer weather on its way, or at least for a minute. It's New Mexico. Then 2 days after that, it'll be cold again. You know how it works. All right, it is 9:16. We're going to take a 3.5-minute break here, and then Larry Martin with the Midday Lions will join us here on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
It doesn't matter if you've been naughty or nice. Everyone gets our very best price during the year-end sales event at Roswell Ford.
It's the final days to trade up for less during the year-end sales event at Roswell Ford. Last chance for 0, 0, 0. That's 0% financing for 60 months, 0 down payments, and 0 payments till March 2026. Plus, if you're making payments on your current vehicle and want out early, Roswell Ford will do whatever it takes to help you escape from your trade, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth, regardless of make, miles, or condition. Worried that your credit is on the naughty list? Roswell Ford has partnered with more aggressive lenders who will push to approve your credit, even if it's less than perfect. All roads lead to huge American-made savings, 0 down, 0 APR, and 0 payments till March 2026. Get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell. Call 575-623-3673 or online at roswellford.com.
Interest accrues from date of sale. 0 APR is 1667 per thousand financed on 2025 F-150s. Subject to lender approval. Offers not combined. Select vehicles.
What does it mean for a roofing contractor to have heart? How about braving a 24-hour road trip with a bad back and a 20-foot-long trailer through Interstate 40? You heard that right. A local business needed a new roof, but this business did not want just any roof. They desired a schoolhouse roof with red shingles. Well, we wanted to give our customers exactly what they were asking for. The only problem was that the red color of shingle they were looking for had been discontinued in our local region. But we didn't give up then. We were told by our supplier that the schoolhouse red color of shingle that we were looking for was still available in Arkansas. So we did what was expected of us and drove 24 hours, and we delivered on our promise. If you need a roofer who delivers on their promises, call Trustmark Roofing today at 575-755-7663.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
At Martine's Capital Cafe, come in and enjoy a delicious variety for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Try our burritos, huevos rancheros, asado, chorizo, sausage, flantas, fajitas, chili rellenos, quesadillas, enchiladas, sopapillas, and don't forget their award-winning green chili cheeseburger and so much more. Everything is prepared with the finest and freshest ingredients. Martine's Capital Cafe. Quality, value, tradition, and the most delicious New Mexican food since 1989. Open Monday through Saturday from 6 to 8:30 p.m. at 110 West 4th Street in Roswell.
In a medical emergency, every second counts. Artesia General Hospital's emergency department is open 24/7, staffed with highly trained professionals ready to provide life-saving care when you need it most. Don't wait. When minutes matter, trust Artesia General Hospital. Quality emergency care close to home. Learn more at artesiageneral.com.
Looking to start, continue, or complete your higher education journey? Join the more than 6,000 fellow Greyhounds on their journey to student success. Eastern New Mexico University offers the most affordable higher education degree in the Southwest, and New Mexico residents can go to school tuition-free with the New Mexico Opportunity Scholarship. With online or in-person degrees, ENMU is the right choice for you. For more information, visit enmu.edu. ENMU, student success. That's what we're about.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Bamboo plants can grow up to 36 inches in a day. So if you're told you're growing like a weed, you can say, no, I'm growing like a bamboo. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in the studio this morning, wearing his Midday Lions hat this morning. He wears many hats, but wearing his Lions hat this morning. Larry Martin back with us. Good morning.
Morning, Mike.
So, how's life in your world this morning? It's been a minute since I've spoke with you.
Good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
I know, of course, Literacy Council's going and doing their thing, and of course, always looking for more support there, which we'll have that conversation another day, another time.
Day, yeah.
But another organization that you get involved with and been involved with for years is the Midday Lions Club, and another thing that the Midday Lions are one of their traditions is the holiday carriage ride you guys do around Christmas time every year. For a couple weekends in December, folks get to come out and get in a carriage and ride around kind of the orchard area and see the Christmas lights and all that good stuff. And of course, this is a fundraising event for the Lions, which all that money goes back to the eye programs and the various entities that the Lions support throughout the year too. So, but it's kind of a Roswell tradition now, the carriage and the lights and all that.
Well, we've been doing it for at least 15 years.
Yeah.
And that's before I showed up. And we used to have horses, but I'm afraid they died off.
Yeah, maybe we have a horse guy out there that maybe wanting to donate some horse time.
Well, it's really hard. You have to have a team, on a wagon, and you have to work together, and you have to train them, and it's really it's a big
you just
deal.
can't roll up with some horses and start towing wagons around.
They probably kick each other.
Okay, I didn't know. I'm not that smart when it comes to that kind of stuff, so I didn't grow up in those.
My horse was a bicycle.
Yeah, I had a Huffy, and then I got a car. But yeah. So kind of give folks a little kind of description of how the night goes for them when they go out to the event.
Okay, we asked for a donation of $10 a person, which is reasonably cheap, and all the money goes to helping find and pay for eyeglasses for kids and some adults in all of it in Chavez County. So,
yeah.
And it's next weekend, the 12th, 13th, 14th, and the week after that, 19, 20, 21. So we got 6 days. And we have something special this year. On Saturday nights at 8 o'clock, we're having what you could call a romantic ride, which is longer than normal.
Okay. So this one may be not geared for the family, just for husband and wife.
Well, it's just 2 rides, one on each Saturday.
A couple.
So it's not a lot of them.
It's a couple's ride.
Yeah,
gotcha.
couple's ride. And it's $50 per couple, which is noticeably higher than 10.
But you get more with it.
We get more with it, and we are going to provide some vouchers from known restaurants to help you pay for meals.
So that covers some meal costs too.
It was kind of like a package deal.
Yeah.
And we're gearing it up. No kids and some good Christmas music.
Yeah.
So bring your bride or your husband and come along and have some fun on those. But that's limited. There's only 12 couples can do that.
And that's coming up this first weekend of
both Saturdays.
Oh, it'll be both Saturdays. Now it won't be this weekend; it'll be the weekend after, and then the weekend after that. So
12th and 19th.
December's going fast, but not that fast.
Oh, yeah. Before you know it'll be Christmas.
Oh, I know. I'm already like, isn't Christmas next week? I think it is. It feels like that sometimes. But and then of course, if you want to do the more traditional, bring out the kids and bring everything else, there'll be other rides on the Friday and Saturday, and Friday and Sunday, and I guess that's Saturday too as well.
Yeah. Yeah,
those are the $10 rides.
The ride's about 30 minutes a ride, and we go through some very nice neighborhoods over on 27th and near Aspen.
Yeah, kind of back in the orchards back there, or the pecan orchards and all that.
Very nice houses.
Yeah, if you've never been back there, to put it this way, I've lived here since roughly around end of 2000. And by far, that's over the years, that's always been like, if people say, I'm going to go to the Christmas lights, they always go out to that part of town because, yeah, it's big houses, but they do. I mean, it's they go all out. You know, I know we always talk about his name just went right out of my head, but with the Christmas lights that they do. But if you do go out there, I mean, they got those. They're really nice houses out there, big houses, and very. But they really do go. I mean, that every year, I think. I don't know. I've done at least 20 times. Once a year, we go out there and make a trip out there on your own. But with the carriage, it's slower. It's slower paced. You get to go, and you don't have to worry about driving or being. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get to focus on your family or focus on your couple if you do the romantic one. And it's just a neat. It's a really cool Christmas vibe, and it's great family tradition. If you haven't started, maybe make it one. I think it's really neat. So, and at the end of the day, you're helping out the Lions and getting eyeglasses for kids and helping, like you said, all that money stays right here in Chavez County. So it's not going to, it's going to kids in your own neighborhoods and kids that you go to church with and go to school with, and you work with their parents and all that good stuff. So it's a good thing to help out.
If you're looking for a ticket, you can go to online. It's RoswellMiddayLions.org.
Okay.
That's RoswellMiddayLions.org.
Do you need a dash or anything between the midday?
No dashes,
Okay.
all one.
Big.
No space, and it's .org, not .com. So
Gotcha.
It confuses some people.
Well, and I still botch this too, but generally knowledge, just gee whiz knowledge for folks, if you see a .org, those are generally for nonprofits and things like that. .coms are commercial-based websites. So most of the time, when you see a nonprofit organization, they're going to have a .org because that's part of there. So just a tip for future. Like, I can't remember if it's .org or .com. If it's nonprofit, it's probably .org.
Right.
And then obviously if it's a government entity, it's at .gov. But just gee whiz information for stick in your pocket for later.
And the money, by the way, we don't have a party. We just save the money, and basically we support other groups occasionally in town, and but most of the money goes to eyeglasses for kids, and some of it goes to adults who are really in bad shape.
Sure.
We'll buy glasses for adults.
Gotcha.
But with
it's always case-by-case basis on need and
we
things like
analyze
that.
everything. We don't, we wouldn't buy it for me because I'm rich.
Yeah,
right. Anyway.
It's like, I'm not rich, but yeah, I can afford my own glasses.
Right.
My life is,
That's right. And there's some special deals around town through your optometrist.
Sure.
If you're looking to find the right one for you. There are several around town, and we have a problem though in Roswell. Is that a lot of the, shall we say, the doctors don't stay long, and
talk to your legislators about that one.
Yeah, that's a problem there. But the optometrists don't hang around long either.
And that's pretty much anywhere in healthcare at this point right now. It's too expensive to practice medicine in the state of New Mexico right now for most of these folks.
Well,
that's the
what I understand.
That's the sad truth, and they got to fix that.
But hey, can't do anything about that. But we're trying to help the kids.
That's another fight for another day.
We also have what's called Kid Sight. We work with the state, and we examine kids from about 3 years on up for a particular eye problem. And if you can catch it by the age of 7, and I'd say about 10% of the kids have this problem, which I'm not technically sure what it is. But anyway, it's something that affects the eyes and can be fixed with proper examination and glasses.
Absolutely.
It's kind of an oddball thing.
Well, and even with the advances in like dyslexia and like the progress they made, like you and I were kids, they didn't even think about putting in a pair of glasses till you're entering like kindergarten or school age.
Yeah, that's right.
They're literally putting them on babies now. I mean, there's 6 months old. They're finding a benefit to correcting some of this stuff with children that young now, and so the pool has kind of widened a little bit for you guys on need for glasses and things like kids that were years ago we would have never thought needing glasses for that age. Now that we're putting them in them, and so there's probably a greater demand for glasses just because we're seeing younger children needing them now.
Well, we'll find out that some kids, go through school a couple of years, they need glasses and they don't think about it, and they always sit in the front row, obviously, so they can see. And we were giving free glasses last year to over 150 kids glasses. And we had two kids came in. They were about 8 or 9. And they put the glasses on and started jumping around. Wow, the trees have leaves, you know. So at some point, they don't even know they're half blind until they put glasses on.
You don't know what you don't know till you don't know it, right?
Oh, that's right. And so parents need to, I mean, come on, you got to have your kids' eyeglasses checked.
Absolutely.
When they're younger. The problem is there are very few, currently right now, we can't find any who will examine kids' eyeglasses in town. So
oh, really?
It's grim.
Well, hopefully we can get that fixed. Again, this is kind of talking to the bigger issue. Talk to your legislators about that. But in the meantime, we got to do what we got to do, and this is what the Lions do here: is they try to navigate. If their family's struggling to get this stuff, how can we help navigate to make this happen?
Yeah,
and that's what you guys work to do.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah. So come have some cocoa and carriage rides and enjoy just a great evening over the next couple weekends here. Now you guys meet. Do you guys still meet at the on Aspen there at the Scout?
Scout Hut, which is near the Mormon Church off of Country Club.
Yes. Yeah. So. You'll see the church there on the corner of Country Club in Aspen.
Aspen, right.
Turn right there and go
north.
Go maybe a couple hundred feet, and you'll see it right there on your left.
We're well lit.
Yes.
We have a lot of lights, so we go for that.
Yeah.
And, of course, we're the only one in town with a wagon running around with a whole bunch of lights on it. So,
yes. It kind of sticks out.
And we plan
We don't have a large Amish community around here to kind of blend it in.
We're planning on being in the Lights Parade Saturday. So.
Oh, great.
You can see us there, I hope.
Excellent. So definitely come out and be a part of it. And then, like we said, now this is going to be not this weekend, but next weekend and the weekend after that, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Again, the romantic couple two people couple $50 enhanced experience. That'll be the Saturdays of each of those days
right.
at 8 p.m. If you go to RoswellMiddayLions.org, you can order your tickets now. Generally speaking, it's first come, first serve. So if you've got a narrow window on your availability, you might want to get in there earlier rather than later if you want to pick a time slot that kind of works with you on the more of the family rides, because those will work. They usually do that over several time slots over the course of the evening there. You can get there earlier or later, like 8 in the evening or something like that.
The first one's at 6 o'clock, and the last one's at 8.
Very good. So again, Roswell Midday Lions. That way you can go .org and go and kind of pick that out. But it'll be 8 o'clock the 2 Saturdays of the event. Would that be the 13th and 20th or 14th? I don't remember what dates those are, but whatever the Saturdays.
13 and 20. Look at my notes here. Yeah.
Whatever the Saturdays are, those weekends at 8 p.m. And then of course all you do is get there a few minutes before your assigned time. Just show up at the Scout headquarters here on Aspen and get ready to have a great evening of carriage riding and Christmas lights and.
We have a nice fireplace burning without burning down any buildings.
Good deal.
We know what we're doing, I think.
Well,
yeah. Anyways, you can huddle around the fire and stay warm.
And they're near the Scout Hut. There's always scouts nearby that know how to deal with fire.
In fact, the scouts help us with it. The Lions is heavily involved with the scouting organization here in town. So
good deal.
We support 2 troops in a pack.
Oh, awesome.
And
so there's some of those kids are going to probably be out there.
Yeah, they'll come out and help us out.
Yeah.
And some of them are ladies, young ladies.
Yeah, we now they got females in scouting now. Scouting because they went from obviously the name change from Boy Scouts to Scouting America now here. But yeah, matter of fact, Roswell had their first female Eagle Scout here less than a year ago here. So
that's right. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that's
it's
good.
Pretty good stuff. So. Yeah, but so
we were both in scouting a long time ago, right?
Yeah, I'm an Eagle Scout. Yeah, matter of fact, I do serve. I serve on the Conquistador Council board, and I help out a couple of things. So I'm involved in scouting a lot of the stuff here
that's
too.
Good. It's a good organization.
Scouting is. I will always sing the praises of scouting here on this program. Who I am today, scouting very much helped mold much of that. I mean, my parents did a good job helping me out and do all it too. I'm not trying to discredit my parents in any way, shape, or form, but they were smart enough to put me in scouting, and what I got to experience, what I got to learn, the things. I mean, my abilities to be confident in circles where I'm not normally confident in. Scouting helped me navigate through that. the military put some finishing touches on it, but but it's definitely scouting is a if you want to do something, and I'll shut up on this, but if you want to do something to prepare your child for the future, regardless of what their dreams, goals, or aspirations, you just want to give them the tools to allow them to be independent, decide for themselves, critical thinking, becoming, shaping them into mature adults on whatever life they choose, regardless of what their passions or joys are. Scouting is the perfect vessel to do that.
Amen.
Yeah, it is just what it is.
When I was in the military, I remember going to a survival camp, training camp for a week, and I irritated the instructor because I knew as much as he did already from scouting.
Yeah. Well, because of my Eagle Scout, when I graduated basic training, I went out with a stripe. I got a stripe on my sleeve for the sole reason that I am an Eagle Scout. That was from the Air Force. I still believe they do that. Now, this was the 90s. It was a few years ago.
All 7 of the original astronauts were Eagle Scouts.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So.
Yep.
The original guys.
Yeah, there's and a few other famous people out there too. Yeah. But meanwhile, help out the Midday Lions, support our families and our youth with their vision by participating in this year's annual Christmas Lights Carriage Rides. Again, we have kind of a new another version for this year.
Romantic ride.
Yeah.
No kids, so it's be 6 couples on a wagon. It's not totally romantic, but it's close.
Well, I mean, it's and of course your package includes some certificates to cover some dinner as well too. Right. So not a bad gig for $50 there. And again, all that proceeds that you're doing goes back to help these families. So it's great to do it. So matter of factly, you got 2 weekends, book both Saturdays. Do it once and do it one other night too. And the same with families, with the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, if you can't get them all in one group, go one group one weekend and, catch the next group the next weekend out there. But.
Well, we find also that I sent out posters or gave a poster to most of the churches in town. And this is a great Christmas, it's a great opportunity for a Sunday school class to go together.
Absolutely.
So get together and think about it.
Absolutely, and see, and just it. To me, these are the kind of things that really help put the Christmas in Christmas a little bit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. You bet.
It gets so much, stress and the hullabaloo of the gifts and this and the perfect dinner and all that stuff, and the simple things are what makes Christmas great. And it really is the time with family, time with loved ones, seeing the beautiful Christmas lights. It's got to be a little cold. I'm sorry if it's warm. That just kind of dampers the mood a little bit. You need a chill out there a little bit.
1 year is down to 10.
We don't need that big of a chill.
Your weather report sounds great. Golly, it's going to be nice.
I'm thinking if it's in the 30s, 40s,
fantastic.
Because that way you're wanting cocoa, you're wanting warm drinks.
And we do have hot cocoa.
And of course, you got to be in a coat and a carriage looking at Christmas lights. If you're in the shorts or T-shirt or something, it just don't feel right.
That's right.
I don't care. Even if you grew up in Hawaii, it still ain't right. It's just not how it's supposed. Santa's got a big coat on and all that.
Do they have Christmas in Hawaii?
Oh, yeah.
I guess so.
I do I like it because I can think of, is it Don Ho that does the Christmas? Yeah. That's what I think of Hawaii every time. So, but again, it'll be not this weekend, but next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday after that. Basically, I guess that'd be the last 2 weekends before Christmas. Basically,
right?
Because the weekend after that will be Christmas that Thursday. So it'll be the last 2 weekends before Christmas. Again, go to RoswellMiddayLions.org to reserve your spots now. And like I said, there's only the 2 Saturdays for the romantic carriage ride, so there's going to be less slots available for that one, and it's only at 8 o'clock. So when those carriages are full, those 2 Saturdays are full. So you might want to book those here directly the next day or so to get make sure you got those availabilities. But for the $10 family carriage rides, those will be, like I said, 6, 7, 8, and 8 o'clock times each Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, both those weekends. Book yours today at RoswellMiddayLions.org. So.
Children under 5 are free.
Well, very good. Okay.
So if you want to bring one that may have to sit on your lap.
I would say they don't get a whole seat.
Yeah. The cabin can fit about 16 people if they're tight.
All right.
Not too big. So it depends on it.
All right. Well, most of us a lot of people are on Ozempic and stuff now, so maybe you can fit a few more. Maybe make some room. But yeah, it is really a fun. It really is a great Christmas tradition, and like you said, it's been going on for at least 15 plus years here, and it is now very much a staple of Roswell. And I think, when you think of certain things, you hit certain times a year in Roswell, and obviously 4th of July weekend, we think about the UFO festival and all that stuff, and then shortly thereafter the chili cheese and all that. But for me, December is the carriage rides. This is the Christmas lights. That's all what it's about. The two favorite things about Christmas in Roswell: the carriage rides, and they put all the lights downtown when you come up down the street. Those are my two favorite things I love about Christmas here in Roswell. And I get kind of lucky because I usually get to work here and it's still dark. So every morning I come to work and I see the lights coming in, and that's my moment of zen as I'm coming to start my day.
I noticed they put the lights up last week or the week before.
Yeah, they're up coming down, and they'll be up till probably February or so.
It looks really nice.
It just puts you in the right mood. Right? It's kind of like you can't be mad if you got an ice cream cone in your hand. You know what I'm saying? You just can't be.
Ice cream?
An ice cream cone. If you're holding an ice cream cone, you just can't be mad and hold an ice cream cone. Just it's impossible. So, anyway, of course, while we got you here, if folks, they're always looking for more Lions to be Midday Lions. If you're interested in becoming a part of the organization, I imagine coming out either of the events and day weekends and talking with some of the Lions there, they'd be happy to tell you a little bit more about.
Yeah, we're a friendly group. That's right now is only 8 of us, but we have a nice group, and it's we meet Fridays at 12:30.
Okay.
At the Stellar Cafe.
All right.
Downtown.
So you come and have a cup of coffee and maybe a little something to eat.
Yeah, a little room in the back. We order lunch and sit and shoot the bull.
There is a great place. They do a lot of community-minded events there.
Yes, they do.
They're very good. Yeah, so definitely support them when you come for a meeting. But yeah, they're always looking for new folks here to help volunteer and be a part of this. And if you're trying to find your niche, your way you want to give back or be a part of the community, the Lions definitely have some opportunities for you to do that.
And
so
I did say Fridays. I think we used to do on Mondays, so we changed to Fridays.
So it's not Fridays.
Fridays at 12:30.
Is it every Friday or
no, every other? First and third.
Friday of the month at Stellar Coffee.
First and third, 12:30.
Excellent. Yeah. Good deal. And if you don't like coffee, they got other stuff at Stellar.
Oh, they got a lot of stuff. It's amazing. And
matter of fact, can you even just get coffee in coffee shops anymore? Just like coffee.
I'm sure that they make coffee. That's right. I watched them at work.
Like if I say, "Can I have a cup of coffee?" Are they gonna know what I'm talking about? Or like, do you want a maki? Whatever the 70,000 different things they got now.
And there's always not in the same room with us, but there's always 3 or 4 guys on their laptops zapping away in the coffee room.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, but again, if you want to learn more about the Midday Lions and obviously get your reservations for the holiday lights carriage rides here, RoswellMiddayLions.org, and go there. I know you guys also have a Midday Lions Facebook page. You can
yes, we're on Facebook now. I haven't seen it because I'm not on Facebook, but
you can like and follow
working.
that, and that way you can stay up to date. And
that might be easier than the webpage.
Yeah, and that's a lot of people are on their Facebook a lot. But if you don't do Facebook, or if you're now to reserve tickets, I would go ahead and just go directly to the website. There's probably a link on the Facebook from there to the other. I know I saw the flyer for the romantic carriage rides on there, so you can learn more about that stuff there too. So, did we get it all, Larry?
I think so. How much time do we have here?
Well, we got a few minutes. We got some other stuff.
I was just wondering, I'm with the Literacy Council.
Yeah.
And we do the Knowledge Bowl. We had one about a month ago, and the Lions Club won.
Oh.
I don't tell them nothing. I don't, no.
It does look like an inside job, just saying.
They got some pretty smart guys on there. And
is Larry compromised? We shall find. No, actually, you had nothing to do with the questions this year. It was all Mind Probe folks. So yeah.
And Nemi won the high school competition.
Nice.
And we're trying to get all the other high schools to compete. So if you have a club in Roswell High or any of those, Goddard or Gateway, I'm thinking of. And
you know what? I think this is the time for our high school athletes to prove a point. Because you know how they look at athletes as dumb jocks and all that stuff. And, and then they're like, oh, you're never going to beat the science club or whatever, the history club. You know what I mean? I'm saying let's get some football players. Let's get some baseball, basketball, volleyball. Put your teams out there and shut up with these people saying that jocks are just good at sports. That's what I'm saying. Throw that gauntlet down and do it at the Knowledge Bowl.
Well, the next one's going to be February 22.
All right, so we'll be doing it here in a couple months. So it's quicker than you think here.
It was designed originally to be after the Super Bowl, and somehow we did it in the fall.
Well, it's technically after the Super Bowl. It's in the next season now. But and of course, if you're not familiar, the Roswell Literacy Council is a great organization, nonprofit, and there's folks that need help with many aspects of literacy, anything from basic literacy to getting your citizenship to helping get folks get their GED or putting, the Literacy Council puts people in touch with the resources to do that, whether it's directly there at the Literacy Council tutoring or putting them in touch with organizations that can help them further what they're trying to do in terms of literacy or getting, English as a second language, any of that kind of stuff. And the blessed part about it is all the resources available to folks is free of charge. It doesn't cost.
Absolutely.
What people pay thousands of dollars in education to get, folks can walk through those doors and get that equivalency for absolutely free. So, and by the way, they're always looking for volunteers as well too. If I know obviously retired teachers, folks like that, obviously have a niche for teaching and are blessed, but there is by no means any requirement or stipulation saying that that's your background. If you are well versed at, obviously they've got books and stuff for the actual training of the reading and all that stuff.
We have a lot of equipment that has been donated through the years.
Tools to help you with that. But if you just have a desire and like to work with people, that's enough to help these folks achieve the goals they're trying to do here. So please reach out to the Literacy Council. I always forget the actual address over there. What is the address number for the building there at the Literacy Council? Do you remember off the top of your head?
No.
It's
So on 10th Street, next to Missouri.
Yeah, it's like, Missouri. I never remember. It's right, but I don't know the physical address.
We have a
number
big
there.
sign out front, so if you get close, you can see it.
Yes, matter of fact, you guys still house the Red Cross folks in there too. So if you're looking for Red Cross business, same place.
Same place.
But you can also
usually
go
out. They're out doing something. They're always busy.
Yeah, you'll probably know for them more. That's where the where the Red Cross folks are. You see them out there more. Yeah. But that's where they do a lot of the tutor training, and that's where you guys operate. Of course, you can go on Facebook and look for Roswell Literacy Council and learn a little bit more about the organization. Or if you need their help, please reach out. That's what they do, is help folks. But again, we'll get you more up to date more on the Knowledge Bowl. That's probably one of your major fundraisers that really helps kind of keep the coffers going for the next year.
Pays the rent.
Yeah.
Actually, we own the building, but we got to pay electric bill.
Oh yeah, there's light bill and water bill and trash bill.
But we don't pay. The tutors are volunteers, and people who want to do it. They don't require anybody, obviously, but they're volunteers, and we have several teachers on the board, and ex-teachers. So it works out really good. If you're into the teaching mode in your life, then this will be.
It's a great mentorship opportunity and a real chance to work one-on-one with people and learn and not to mention it's a great social thing too. I'm going to take a stab that if you're looking to kind of broaden your social circles, make some friends, or just broaden your own horizons there, this is a great way to help do that too. So you can benefit from this as much as the people you're helping sometimes. So, and matter of fact, I'm going to take a stab to many of your volunteers. They go home at night. They may be tired, but they're like, I had a good day.
Yes, you had a good day. I did something today besides watching Jeopardy.
Yeah, exactly. It was a good day. I mean, I made a connection. Someone had I helped someone have a light bulb moment today. That was a great thing. And so that's where you'll truly find that reward. But as we get close to February here in Knowledge Bowl, we'll start ramping up there and start encouraging you. But what I'm telling you right now, like you said, we want to get more youth teams out there. We want to, no offense, Nimmy, we want to give you a little competition. We want to get you a few more teams. You're defending champs, but we're going to, it's hard to repeat. That's true in any contest. So we want to make it tougher for you. So let's get those youth groups, high school groups, church groups, whatever it is. Now don't forget the adults, still game on for you guys too, but we want to ramp up the youth side of things a little bit here too. So good deal. Is there anything else we missed, Larry?
I don't think so. We got it all.
Excellent. Well, thank you much. We'll see you here next week as we'll keep reminding folks about our carriage rides here, because I know you sleep now and then, and you hear it now, and you're like, oh, great, and then by the afternoon you forget about it.
Well, I'm sure everyone in town doesn't listen to this show right now, so we'll get them next week.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, dozens care. No, I'm kidding. Actually, I find out real quick if you just say something wrong or screw up, you'll find out real quick how many people listen. People stay quiet, but if I say something wrong, so that's my barometer. Oh, I messed that one up. Phone's ringing. All right. Thank you, Larry. 9:52. Let's pause for news. Hannity update, Cowboys report, and some weather and all that before we go. Don't go away.
With your Pecos Valley news updates, I'm Jared Cirillo. Thanks for joining us this hour. First off, Artesia police say they have now positively identified the human remains that were found 3 years ago as belonging to a homeless man who had recently been released from jail. The skeletal remains of 53-year-old John Littleton were found September 29th near the railroad tracks in the 300 block of North 1st Street in Artesia. A train conductor with BNSF made the discovery. Artesia police announced Wednesday that the autopsy remains open. Light Up Artesia gets underway today. The festivities beginning at 4 o'clock this afternoon with the Jingle Bell Jog. Then at 5:30 tonight, the second annual tree lighting ceremony. At 6, the light parade. And then head over to the Ocotillo at 7 for the Artrageous event. This year's theme for all of the events is Retro Christmas Rewind. Nostalgia heavy, gaudy colors, aluminum trees, and vintage magic. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
Turn up your radio. Here's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
And what do we learn about these Afghan refugees? Biden, Harris, just like they said, border closed, border secure, border closed, none of it which is true. 76,000. They told us, Mayorkas, we're so proud of our resettlement thing. It's one of a source of great pride. Well, they had 5,000 plus flagged for national security concerns. They still let them into your country. 6,868 flagged for derogatory information, meaning ding, 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 5-alarm fire. They let them in anyway. Nearly 1,000 flagged for fraud, 1,000 flagged for public safety, and we still have nearly 1,000 of them still at large that are national security risks. We have no idea where they are.
Check out the Sean Hannity radio show later today, right here.
You know, with war in the Middle East, war in Europe, I mean, so many untold tens and tens of thousands of people have been suffering, and they are all in need of the bare necessities of life. They need food and water and medication and clothing and shelter. You name it, they need it. Told you about Maria, 85 years old, lives alone, nearly blind, broken hip, a Holocaust survivor. Her father and brother murdered by the Nazis. Now, she still lives in her childhood home. She doesn't have indoor plumbing, no heat, it's bitter cold, and she barely has enough food to survive. Now, you can help us through the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews. For example, a $25 gift will provide survival food boxes, and that's life-saving aid for people like Maria. Whatever you can donate, your generosity makes it all possible. Call now, 888-488-IFCJ, 888-488-IFCJ, or online, just go to HannityForTheFellowship.org. That's HannityForTheFellowship.org.
Happy game day in downtown Detroit. I'm Christy Scales, where tonight the Cowboys take on the Lions. Former Cowboys tight end and current Lions head coach Dan Campbell shares a key to the game right after this.
A true Dallas Cowboys fan is there for the journey and the destination. This is the season to make your journey count by flying through McAllen International Airport, the South Texas airport of the Dallas Cowboys. Whether you're flying down for McAllen's award-winning fall and holiday festivals, or you're a South Texas fan flying up to cheer the Cowboys on, make your journey as satisfying as your destination at the South Texas airport of the Dallas Cowboys. McAllen International Airport, above, beyond, at McAllenAirport.com.
I'm home. Hey, Mom, before you ask, I've done my homework and the dishwasher's unloaded.
Nice. Hey, can you... Hey, hon, yes, I've got the finale ready to play. Here's your wine.
Wow. Isn't it nice not having to ask? We think so. That's why if there's a network interruption, AT&T will proactively credit you for a full day of service, guaranteed. credit for fiber downtime lasting 20 minutes or more, or for wireless downtime lasting 60 minutes or more caused by a single incident impacting 10 or more towers. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for details.
The Cowboys are in Detroit to take on the Lions team led by head coach Dan Campbell, the Texas Aggie and former Cowboy tight end, who appreciates how Dallas has put together their offensive arsenal.
You've got two number one receivers on the outside, and both of them are two different types of players. So that gives them variety, versatility. But then they run the ball well. They have a diverse run scheme. They do a lot of under center. Dak, they're against playing at a high level. The run action, the play pass stuff has been really good. So when you can run it like they run it, and then you got those guys. But if we can just at least shut down some of this two-dimensional football, that's going to go a long way for us.
Kickoff tonight here in downtown Detroit, 7:15 Central. We'll be here to rejoin you this evening on your radio home for the boys.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll have some cloud cover early today, and then we get sunshine in the afternoon. It will be cooler following that cold front. Afternoon high in the mid to upper 40s. Well, the overnight hours pretty cold. We're dipping into the 20s under clear skies, and then we'll bounce back to about 60 to 65 on the high on Friday and sunny. The upcoming weekend looks good. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. Unemployment applications dropped to 191,000 last week. It's a more than three-year low, and it could further complicate the Federal Reserve's upcoming decision on interest rates. Fed policymakers meet next week. Delta Airlines says the longest ever government shutdown cost it $200 million. Correspondent Bob Agnew.
The shutdown began October 1st and caused long delays and historic flight cancellations at major airports. The FAA issued an emergency order requiring airlines to cancel up to 6% of domestic flights as more air traffic controllers called out of work, citing stress and the need to take on side jobs. CEO Ed Bastian says refunds increased and bookings slowed during the 43-day shutdown, leading to a loss of about 25 cents a share. Bob Agnew reporting.
Wall Street opened the day not far from where it closed yesterday. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. More than 50% of Americans fall asleep on their sides. That's way better than falling asleep on someone else's side. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is closing in on 10 o'clock. That's going to do it for us. If you missed any part of my show here, check it out at your leisure, ksvptv.com. Just click on the Mornings with Mike Winters channel. You'll find all our interviews there. Don't forget, City of Champions Classic going on at KSVP TV all day right now. If you love high school basketball, there's